His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAwon'tWait.com. That's GAwon'tWait.com.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-736-6158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-736-6158. That's 800-736-6158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-736-6158. Again, 800-736-6158.
Hey, Ralph, got another solar question for you.
Okay, but did you check out the Harmon Solar podcast first?
The what?
The Harmon Solar podcast. We put new episodes up twice a month that teach you all the things you ever wanted to learn about solar. We discuss things like how solar works, the roofing, sales process, demand management, everything solar.
Show like this needs some real smart thinkers, huh?
Well, yeah.
So you got some really great guests then, huh?
Almost every show.
Is it on Spotify?
Yep.
iTunes?
Yep. Just search it everywhere. It's the Harmon Solar podcast. Go check it out at harmonsolar.com.
Time for some smart saving. Put money aside, not your child's future education.
I'm Arizona State Treasurer Kimberly Yee. The sooner you start an AZ 529 education savings plan, the more money you'll have when your little one graduates high school. Invest just $15 a month and you could have thousands of dollars saved for their education needs. Go to az529.gov so when it's time to achieve their dreams, they can.
Now that's smart saving. Sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting at K25CDV at 99.3 FM. K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line already. It's a line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Boy, I don't even know where you guys want to start. I have an idea. We're the fifth dimension? Fifth dimension. Fourth dimension. I know it's the fourth dimension, but now I wonder if I've just spoken into being a fifth dimension, a subgroup of the fourth dimension of even weirder people.
No.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Maybe Blissful Haze, maybe.
Yeah, like Blissful Haze and Donnie and a couple other people just sort of get together and it gets really damn weird.
Fifth dimension.
But not the fun weird. It's like the uncomfortable weird you wish you had, like a room you wish you'd never walked into.
Sort of the odd weird.
Whatever the case, I kind of have an idea of what everybody's going to want to talk about. So I'm going to try to resist going there for as long as I can. But you know how that goes, especially.
What do they want to talk about, Jeffrey?
The whiny ass Chiefs. I'm pretty sure that's going to come up right away. The whiny ass Chiefs.
All right.
And that's what I'm calling them right now. So you already know how I feel about the whole thing. them whiny ass Chiefs. But first, let's go ahead and talk about the important things. Shohei Ohtani did not end up on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Shohei Ohtani, and I'm actually happy that he's ended up on the Dodgers because now they have a $700 million designated hitter.
Yeah.
Good job.
And that's all they have is a designated hitter right now.
What I'm saying.
He's not going to throw this year. They're going to pay him $70 million. And I think it's funny. I was talking to one of my sons, an enormous Diamondbacks fan.
I don't think you need to bring his weight into this. I mean, that's why would you fat shame your child?
No, I wasn't saying he was.
He said he's enormous. That's not very.
I said he was an enormous Diamondbacks fan.
He's an enormous, huge. No, it's just not nice. I've learned. I've learned the hard way.
No, Jeffrey, never mind.
You need to remember to be kind and rewind.
All right. Okay. Just go back to sleep. Shohei Ohtani on the Dodgers, and we'll have to see what happens this season. Now, look, he's going to add some pop to their lineup, but is that going to be enough? Is that going to be enough to take the Dodgers back to the World Series? Is that going to be enough?
Were they one designated hitter away from getting past the Diamondbacks when they got knocked out of the playoffs by them?
I don't think so.
No.
But,
by the way, do you have that "We Beat the Dodgers" song that Fish Tank made for the Diamondbacks? We should play that. We should play that right now just to remind them.
The Lakers got swept.
That's the Lakers. That's the Lakers one. Sorry. That's always fun, though. That's a good one.
Here it is.
That's a banger.
You lost an entire backset. Your team is a pile of crap. You lost an entire backset. Your team is a pile of crap.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go. That's the Dodgers song I was looking for. Nicely done. Anyway, you were saying.
I don't remember exactly what I was saying, but they expended a lot of money for one guy to come in and be a
$700 million.
Yeah, for 10 years, $70 million a year, and we'll have to wait and see how this pans out. Now, look, Shohei, he hits the ball well. I've got to imagine that the National League is going to be a bit more cagey about how they deal with Shohei Ohtani. In other words, if he comes up with bases loaded, wouldn't you walk in a run rather than see him hit a home run and bring in 5 runs?
Or just have your fun with it. Plunk him every time.
You could hit him. Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah,
everybody on every team.
I understand he's a nice guy. So I think he's going to lead the league, the National League in walks this year. So
I'm not trying to hurt him. I'm just saying he send like a 40-mile-an-hour fastball to his back.
Yeah, I get it. But, look, I think he's going to, like Barry Bonds did one year, I think he's going to lead the league in walks this year. So
fair enough.
That's the way you deal with that.
$700 million, though, not even knowing how it's going to go. They have to pay him this, whether the Tommy John surgery works or not. Or is there a clause in there that has something to do with that? Because this is an insane contract. This is the biggest contract for Major League Baseball. Breaks all the records for total value, for annual average value in a contract. Mike Trout used to be that guy. He had a total record of $426.5 million. Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, they were tied for number 1 average annual value at $43.3 million. But this is it just breaks it all.
I would imagine there are some sort of clauses in there, and I would imagine there's some sort of opt-outs for the player and for the team. I would imagine there's a way for these guys, but that probably hasn't been reported. The bottom line is the big news is Shohei Ohtani is signed now. We get to see what everybody else is going to do, and more importantly, what the Diamondbacks are going to do now that Shohei Ohtani has signed a contract. We'll see what happens. And it should be a lot of fun to watch the Diamondbacks and the rest of Major League Baseball make their moves here in the next week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks.
Mr. Wilbur says, read this on Monday. He sent this a couple days ago, actually. He said, the Dodgers not only make me sick, but they can choke on that $70 million a year that they're going to pay the guy, and he'll maybe have 2 good years out of those 10.
Maybe.
Well, they're money to waste, I guess.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, doesn't have any effect on my life, but it's just silly.
Yeah. It's a gamble, and every team in sports that spends money is making a gamble. You make a gamble that people who are injury prone don't get injured again. You make a gamble that, somebody who's been underachieving is going to live up to their full potential. So the Dodgers are making the gamble right now. When Shohei Ohtani can pitch again, that's going to be worth it.
Well, I
And
mean,
we'll see.
everybody's bought into the hype, Keon. Everybody has bought into the hype that the media keeps saying about this guy, that he's a one of a kind player, that he's going to be a record setter, and that he's something. He's a bit of a unicorn, is something we haven't seen in 100 years, and everybody has bought into the hype, including the Dodgers. And, good luck with that. I hope Shohei Ohtani has the kind of year the Dodgers are expecting, except for against the Diamondbacks. That's all I have to say.
Mr. Pringle says, I can't wait to watch Ohtani hit 5 home runs. Ooh. LOL, he says. Yeah, I get signing him, but signing him for this much, not really knowing how that surgery is going to go.
Again,
just astounding.
The surgery has already happened, and I'm sure
you don't know the outcome of that for another year.
I understand. I understand what you're saying about the surgery, and I understand what you're saying about Shohei Ohtani. The bottom line is that they are like Keon says, they're taking a gamble that this guy's going to return and be a sub-3 kind of pitcher. A guy that goes out there every 5th day and shuts down a team, and a guy that can hit, 30 home runs a season. And the bottom line for me is you'll just have to wait and see. How's he going to do in the National League? And is he going to lead the league? In my opinion, if I'm the manager of the Diamondbacks, every time I face him and they're in some sort of, you got 3 runners on or 2 runners on, and guess what? He goes to first base. He goes to first base every damn time.
$70 million a year he's ever got. If everybody's just to walk him.
That's what they did with Barry Bonds. The guy was hitting home runs. He had all that armor plating on his left arm and all that business. He stood over the plate. Guess what they did? They walked him. Unless you were Curt Schilling, then you were unafraid to throw at his head and give him something to think about. And then he would back off. And Curt Schilling owned Barry Bonds. We'll have to see what kind of strategies these teams put in place against Shohei Ohtani in the National League. The National League doesn't mess around. The American League does. They'll throw to him, but the National League they won't mess around. Yeah, these guys they'll walk him. They will put him on base, even if he has full. If there's full bases, they'd rather walk in 1 run and then have him hit in 4 runs.
I have a question.
Jeffrey O'Brien, 1580, the Fanatic. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I want to know if they walk him, do they also put a designated runner in for him just to make sure he doesn't get hurt further, or does he actually run the bases?
Yeah, look.
How is he as a base runner?
He's a good base runner.
Does he steal bases?
He does steal bases. Yes,
that's a risk.
Well, it's a risk to his hand, but he has to learn how to slide on his left side, and I think he's probably mastered that, and that's something he's going to take care of. And they're going to have that arm well protected when he's out there playing. Bottom line, they're paying him $10 million this year. They want him to play. So get out there and run, Jack.
Toby says it's a 10-year contract with no opt-outs or option years or escape hatches on either side.
Well, I mean,
the majority of this salary, by the way, is deferred. Deferred till when?
Well, it could be several years. I mean, they could take some of this money and defer it out, kind of like the Bobby Bonilla. Every year, we do the Bobby Bonilla Day in April, and he gets another $1 million. So it could be something like that. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, though, good for Shohei Ohtani. Good for him getting that money, though. I got to say, he seems like a nice guy. He's getting money he just does not deserve. Now, I know you're going to say he was one of the most dynamic players before the injury. He was one of the best players ever, MVP all the way. But we don't know what he is after the surgery. That's what I'm saying. This is money that he doesn't deserve. He's not getting it from the team that he did something for. So it's not like a thank you contract. This is just the Dodgers rolling $700 million dice.
Well, I mean,
and they've got to pay it eventually. It might be deferred. It might be backloaded, but it does need to get paid, and he will get that money. You win the lottery. Some people say, oh, I'm going to take half and then, invest it. Some people are like, you know what? I want to make sure there's money there every year. I'm going to take the annuity. So basically, Shohei Ohtani has almost $1 billion in annuity. Can you believe that? No matter what happens next, don't ever feel sorry for Shohei Ohtani.
No,
ever.
I mean
Well,
he's gone out and earned this money. I mean he's gone out and played baseball, and there's a saying: they pay you for what you've already done, but they cut you for what what have you done for me lately? So
A hawk could come from the sky and pluck out one of his eyeballs, and I'd still be like, yeah, "But you got 700 million, man. You're
well,
good.
that's true.
You're good.
Again,
You could go get a bionic eyeball now.
They pay you for what you have done, but they cut you for what have you done for me lately. So
they cut him. He still gets the money.
The bottom line is they're taking a chance on Shohei, like Keon said. They're taking a gamble on him to come out and play the game. I think he's going to be fine as a hitter. I just don't know about the pitching. That's the big question mark. Are they paying him for pitching and hitting, or are they paying him just for hitting?
They wouldn't pay him $700 million over 10 years just for a designated hitter.
Well, there you go.
Who has done that ever?
Well, the Dodgers have.
Yeah, well, they're dumb.
The
The Dodgers
did
are
it this
clearly
past
dumb.
weekend. Yeah, well.
And again, I don't want to make it sound like I don't like Shohei Ohtani. I like him fine. Good for him. He went out and got the money. Good for him. I'll never begrudge somebody for that. But I am glad it wasn't the Diamondbacks. I'm glad it wasn't a team that I care about, because this is going to just be a giant sinkhole of cash for the Dodgers. And even though there's no cap, this is the kind of thing I look at this contract and I'm like, yeah, Major League Baseball needs a cap, because this is damn ridiculous.
If he doesn't come back and pitch well, yes.
I don't know
But
if they need a
even
cap.
if he does pitch well, this is a ridiculous contract.
If you are stupid enough to shell out $700 million and you don't know whether or not it's going to pan out, that's you.
Mm-hmm.
No one should save you from that. That's your problem.
No, I agree. I enjoy it, but this is also just getting into silly town. And I think there should be a cap in baseball, because what happens at that point is that there's a handful of teams that are willing to invest billions of dollars. And then there's other teams like ours where we have to sort of luckily stumble into a good team that goes to the World Series. And I think they need to even the playing field on the money. Also, this is the kind of thing that benefits the players, because you got a couple of guys who get contracts like this, and everybody else is way down at the bottom. There's a giant chasm between a few stars who get paid like this and everybody else. If you put a cap in place, then the people at the bottom, their fortunes come up a bit. And then you have to be more careful on how you spend your star money. I think the way the NFL does it is pretty good. I mean, they continually will raise it a little bit here and there, but they keep it into what is at least a reasonable competitive amount.
I think that they need a salary floor more than they need a cap. We need to just say, this is the minimum that you're allowed to spend.
Why not both?
Because it's silly that you have teams like the A's that just don't spend money.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Absolutely right. I agree 100%. It's silly that the Diamondbacks, they haven't really spent money. Imagine where we could have been had they spent just a little bit more money, and instead of then they wouldn't be gravitating towards bad contracts where they throw a chunk of money and you're like, okay, why are we doing that? But we're not doing anything over here. It's something that Randy's been railing about for years. I think a salary cap up top and down bottom benefits everybody, including the sport.
Okay, that makes sense to me. I do think that this thing with Shohei though, I don't know that, like, this is one of the reasons why I'm less gung ho about a cap for baseball, is that when an organization is run well and they draft well and they scout well, like the Tampa Bay Rays, even though they don't spend a ton of money, they do compete. They find themselves near and around a World Series more often than they don't in the last 10 years or so, because of how well their organization is. And we've seen owners show up, spend a bunch of money in other sports, and it doesn't really help them at all.
Boston Red Sox.
Yeah,
we might be about to watch that here in Phoenix.
We'll see. We'll see.
New York Yankees.
Much money was thrown at a situation. We'll see if it actually results in anything.
Bradley Beal's supposed to be back from back injury tomorrow. That is the word on the street. Now, of course, he's showing back up when Kevin Durant's probably not going to be there. They're saying it's a game time decision for Kevin Durant. So we were this close to getting all three back. But here's the thing that really struck me is Bradley Beal was talking to the press, and he said, He says, yeah, I probably would have tried to tough guy it and come back sooner, but both Devin Booker and Kevin Durant said, no, don't do that. Don't come back until you're absolutely 100%. And this is the key sentence right here. We need you down the stretch. So it's not just the coaches or the owner. This is the team thought process is we're going to do the best we can, but it matters when you go to the playoffs. That's when this is going to matter the most.
Well, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've had guys on baseball teams that I've been a part of, or softball teams I've been a part of, guys that were very valuable to our team, but they had an injury, hamstring or a groin, whatever they might have, bad back. And I would tell them, so would my teammates, the same thing. Sit back and make sure that thing is ready and strong. Don't try to come back too soon. Come back when we're pushing for the playoffs. Don't try to make a hero move here. Let's sit back and let's get that healthy and ready to go. And we need you as we push towards the playoffs. So
can I just ask you a question? What thing? What thing?
What do you mean?
Whatever the injury might be.
You said get that thing. Make sure that thing is
a back, a groin, a hamstring, an ankle, a shoulder. You especially when you get that pulled groin. I mean, that pulled groin is something you don't want to have as you go down the stretch.
Keep your hands off my groin. Quiet Cannon says, if I'm the Dodgers, I'll have Ohtani batting third with 2 good hitters following him. That'll make the opposition have to pitch to him. Will it?
Well, maybe, but maybe not. If he's batting third, then he's only going to have 2 guys on base. I think you want him batting fourth because then he's going to have maybe the possibility of having 3 guys on base. Then you are put in a position where you have to throw to him because you don't want to walk someone in. Now, that talks to the Major League Baseball managers. Are you willing to walk Shohei Ohtani and bring in a run or pitch to him with the possibility of hitting a grand slam? I would rather walk him. That's 1 run. If he hits a grand slam, that's 4. So if I want to stay in a game, I might walk the guy, walk in a run, and then let my offense come in and maybe get that run back. So
if only more managers were Randy White.
Well,
we'll have to see how they play it. It'll be
know
interesting. Canadian Butt Funda says, I'm depressed, guys. I thought my Toronto Blue Jays were going to get Shohei Ohtani. Looked like he was even flying to Toronto, but then the Dodgers swept him away with a $700 million American contract.
Yeah.
Woofda, he says.
Well, and Toronto was the forerunner, according to quote unquote these baseball sources, that Toronto was the blue. They were the Blue Jays were the team that had the inside track, but the Dodgers must have last second thrown out their look. We're gonna top them. We're gonna top the Blue Jays by $100 million. Why don't you come back to Los Angeles and play for the Dodger Blue?
Las Toby says Ohtani's contract includes unprecedented deferrals. According to MajorLeagueBaseball.com, the deferrals were supposedly Ohtani's idea. Probably another way to get extra money. It's like, here, you got to pay me this much, but I'll let you defer. And they're like, oh, okay, we can do that. Baker's Cocky Hen says the lineup should be Ohtani 1, Freeman 2, Betts 3rd.
I would probably go inverted on that. I would bet Betts first, Freeman 2, Ohtani would be 4.
I wonder if they did this to sell more tickets. I don't know. I'm thinking like the Dodgers need help selling tickets, right?
I doubt it. This is a team. The Dodger organization is a team that's always looking for a world championship, just like the Yankees, just like Boston. This is a team that's always looking for a world championship, like Houston.
And if Ohtani is okay and the surgery does work out, and it is a big if, I get that. He's 29 years old. He could be in his prime for the next 6-7 years, and then you've got 6 or 7 years of like high level Ohtani being able to do both. So if it works out for them,
I'm torn. I seems like a nice guy, and you want the best for him. So you're hoping that the surgery works and he comes back and he does well because he's an MVP player. You're like, yay. The other part of me kind of hopes that they have just paid $700 million for a designated hitter, and I'm torn between those two thoughts.
It's mostly because it's the Dodgers.
Yeah, it's nothing personal towards him.
Wait till Ralph's on the show.
Well, he'll be on with us tomorrow, so I'm sure we'll
Yeah,
have...
guys, we got Shohei Ohtani.
He didn't want Shohei, if you remember. I'm pretty sure he said he didn't want Shohei
He
Ohtani.
kept saying that they were going to go after him, and he was excited about it. So I don't know.
Okay. I guess I'm thinking somebody else. NFL. Oh, that was me. That was me saying he didn't want Shohei on the Diamondbacks. Okay, because then we would never pay anyone else ever again.
You know, I got a text this weekend from one of my sons that said, too bad they paid $70 million for him to lose again.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't solved all of their problems.
Yeah. He's got a better
No.
chance with the Dodgers than with the
Yeah.
Angels, but
Well,
still.
does he?
NFL.
Does he, though?
Yeah, a little. NFL Blitzer says, I'm calling it right now. Angels versus Dodgers in the World Series. Angels win the series 4-0. I don't. Is that even possible?
Let's baby steps. Let's do
Are they
Angels in the playoffs first.
Wait, I thought the Angels were in the NL. Are they?
No,
in
they're
the
American League.
AL.
Okay, the Dodgers are in it. Okay.
Uh.
Wow, the Angels just ain't going to get there, especially now that they don't have Shohei Ohtani.
Let's do Angels in the wild card first before we start doing Angels World Series.
Even that's just no, not happening.
Let's go in steps.
Let's get him in the playoffs first.
You had the best offensive player in baseball for like 10 years and didn't get close. I don't think that this is the time that it's going to finally happen.
All right, enough of this Shohei Ohtani nonsense. We got other stuff we got to talk about. We got to talk about the Suns. We got to talk about the Lopes. And then we've got a whole lot of NFL to talk about. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Take the guesswork out of your holiday gifts. OmahaSteaks.com for 50% off site-wide and save an additional $30 with promo code VSIN. OmahaSteaks.com.
NFL Monday Night Football, 2 games on the schedule. The Miami Dolphins are home in South Florida as they take on the Tennessee Titans. Miami at 13.5-point favorite, minus 820 on the money line. Titans plus 570 with an over-under of 46.5. Miami with the number 1 passing attack in the NFL, averaging 32 points per game. The Giants taking on the Green Bay Packers. Packers have won 4 of their last 5. They're 6-6 and a 6-point road favorite against the Giants, who are 4-8. The Packers minus 290 on the money line. Giants plus 235. Over under is at 37. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Honey, come here, quick.
What is it?
Shh, check it out. The prices on all these highly rated tequilas are amazing. Total Wine must have made a mistake.
Nope, they always have the best deals in town. Remember that amazing reposado your sister brought over last week? See, it's right here.
Whoa, that's a low price. I mean, whoa, that's a low price.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. B21.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Grand Canyon University basketball is back for another exciting season. After advancing to March Madness in 2 of his 3 seasons as the head coach, Bryce Drew brings a team to the court this season, picked to win the conference once again, and led by first-team All-WAC selection Gabe McLaughlin and WAC preseason Player of the Year Ray Harrison. Check out the schedule at GCULopes.com to find matchups with San Francisco, DePaul, Liberty, and last year's national championship runner-up, the San Diego State Aztecs. Join me, Michael Potter, and Lopes insider Paul Coro all season long right here on The Fanatic, the home of Lopes basketball.
Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So word on the street is Grand Canyon University, who are now 8-1, picked up 5 votes in the new coaches poll and 1 vote in the AP poll. And that means they didn't get in there, but they are getting noticed. They had a pretty big win this weekend over the Liberty Flames on their home court, which they had not lost on in 20 different games. So the Grand Canyon Lopes went into Lynchburg, Virginia. Gabe McLaughlin, he became the player of the week or something, or the month, I don't know, for the WAC. Scored 21 points, and they handled their business. They went there and they were down and they were up, then they were down again and they were up. There was a lot of back and forth in that game. 69 and 64. It was I was working on my my daughter's Jeep, and I could hear it on the radio. I was listening to 1580, and that was an exciting game. It was a very good game. But anyway, so Grand Canyon is playing Portland on Saturday at 7:15.
Well, that's a win. That's a win.
You never know. Because
Yeah,
that
that's a
one
win.
loss they had in that little tournament,
that's a win.
You didn't
That's
know
a
what
win.
that was going to be. And by the way,
Well, it was to South Carolina. South Carolina is a better team.
Yeah. Portland, they're all stoned.
you
Hey,
never know. Well, yeah, that's true.
pretty much all the time.
Some people are very high functioning when they're stoned. So maybe that whole team.
Not these guys.
You
No.
don't know. You don't
No.
know. You don't know
No,
until they play.
came from different parts of the United States. They came to Portland. They found out it was free love sort of thing. You know what I mean? And they just walked in there
Have
and
you
started
ever been to Portland, Oregon?
sparking up doobies and
It's
you
not
know what I
quite
mean?
like what you think it is. It's
What are you
close.
talking about?
It's close, but it's not
wait.
quite what you think it is.
Well, it's like I said, these guys came from other parts of the country. They didn't know about it. They're 18-year-old guys, and they're coming in to play basketball. And and here's one of these hippies standing outside of the arena there, hugging a pine tree. Hey, bro, why don't you come over here and have a hit off this magical cigarette?
You think they're
see what I
smoking
mean?
trees?
No, man, they're hugging trees.
It's not quite what you think it is.
I
Although
think they're-
my
I think
mom
it's
used
like-
to live there. We all
Yeah.
used to live, but then now she decided she couldn't take it anymore, and she moved
Oh, she
to
probably got a rash from all those pine trees.
moved to the south. And
Listen,
she
your
lives-
mom is great. I've known your mom for a long time.
Mhm.
I mean,
the hell's that supposed to mean?
well, I mean, in a working relationship,
You're not my dad.
never said I was your dad.
It's got real awkward now.
I do like country music, though.
Big George says, Randy, why are you disparaging the great city of Portland, Oregon? It's a misnomer that everybody in Portland is high.
Please, come on.
Yeah, it is.
Come
I mean,
on. I mean,
no,
think about it
here's
for a
what,
second.
Everyone in Portland, Oregon is homeless, but not everybody is high.
See, that's what I mean. They made their own. They made their own city. They were so high. They made their own city in Portland, and then they wanted the police to come in there and help them, but they didn't want the police to come in there. You see what I'm saying? They were stoned the whole time.
Not all of them. Most of them. Baker's Coggy Hen says it was the Whacker of the Week award. Solid effort from Gabe McLaughlin right there.
What?
Yeah.
Whacker?
Yeah, it's the WAC conference. It's not what you think.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Keon Swazman says, good job in fantasy football. You saved the best for last, beating the number one team this week on your way out the door in League Two. You might be high score for the entire week. What's your score right now?
172.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
When I needed it the least, when I could have used it 2 weeks ago, then everything finally clicked and it all showed up and it was great.
You still out of the playoffs then?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really
Could have really used that even last week. Last week there was still a slim chance. No, of course not.
Yeah.
Ralph has no one left on.
Oh
on
yeah,
Monday
you're
night.
in garbage time. Ralph got beat by Randy.
Yeah, I'm
Very
actually
nice.
Up. I'm up by 8.
Not bad, but my game is up in the air, and it's one of these things where I got a lucky break, but I don't know if it'll be enough. Here, listen, I am up by 47 points.
Oh my God.
Right now over
Oh my
first and goal. No. It's not that impressive because he still has his quarterback and a running back and a wide receiver.
Oh my
The wide
God.
receiver, Tyreek Hill.
Oh.
Yeah. The quarterback, Jordan Love.
Oh.
But the running back, Aaron Jones.
Okay, so
he's not playing tonight.
So there you go. You got 2 out of 3 to worry about.
I have a chance.
You need Jordan Love to have a bad game, just a real bad game,
or Tyreek Hill,
or
which is-
Tyreek Hill, which
that's
is
not gonna
less likely.
Tyreek's not going to have a bad game.
Yeah, I know. Thank you so much, Randy. Thank you. But I'm just
I'm
glad at least
sorry,
I have
pal.
a chance. Now, here's the thing about tonight. Okay. This is the thing about tonight. Tonight, you've got 2 Monday night football games starting at exactly the same time because stupid. It's so dumb. This is the dumbest thing. Has anybody explained why they think this is a good idea? How is this good for anybody to have the Packers playing the Giants
I've
and the
got
Titans playing the Dolphins at exactly the same time?
Here's what happened. Rob Manfred and the commissioner of the NFL, what's his name? Old drunky drunk. What's his name?
Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell got together, and they were sitting at a bar somewhere in downtown New York, and they were having drinks. And Roger Goodell was sitting there. Well, he's a lightweight, so he had a glass of vodka with a twist.
Mhm.
And then old Manfred, he was so far gone. He's always gone.
Yeah, he showed up gone.
And he's like, "Here's what you should do, bro. Here's how it should go down." And then old Manfred, old baggy eye Manfred, he said, "That's a damn good idea. I think I'll do that."
Mhm.
And that's how the twin Monday Night Football games have happened.
So I thought Goodell ran the football, not Manfred. I'm confused.
No, Manfred gave him information. Goodell, old baggy eyes, he's like, "Wow, we could maybe make double on one night."
He is Irish, so expect more
See
of
what
this
I'm saying?
nonsense.
See what I'm saying?
Well, from what I've read, the ESPN, they looked at the ratings, and the big wigs over at ESPN said, "What's missing from Monday Night Football? Is it good broadcasters? Is it, a pregame show that anybody wants to watch? No, it doesn't have the Sunday afternoon feel to it. So we want multiple games happening at the same time with drama unfolding in two games. That way people can watch football on Monday night and feel like it's a Sunday afternoon."
Are you
that
saying
that
the
is what
people
the
at
CBS Sports
ESPN
article says? That's not
Keon, are you saying that the people at ESPN wear wigs?
They could. I mean, I don't.
Oh, you remember Jason Witten? Yes.
Yeah.
Now
Oh,
listen. This is just the dumbest thing ever. Even the way Keon explained it, if that is indeed the real reason, it is indeed stupidity because most of America doesn't care about the Giants or the Dolphins or the Titans or the Packers. They all have
What
their
do
own
you mean?
teams on, and then we're
I mean,
talking on a work night. If you put one game up there, if it's a fairly decent game, everybody's going to watch it because, okay, turn it on. Hell, there's some football there in the background while we're doing whatever. But if you got two games, now you got to choose between the two of them. And guess what? In this one, pretty obvious which one nobody's watching. We chose Titans and Dolphins just because you'd at least have the offense of the Miami Dolphins to entertain you. There's nothing entertaining about Packers and Giants. Now, I know when they scheduled all this, they didn't know for sure how that was going to go. So now they were sitting there thinking we might have two games that might be worth watching. But here, let's dilute the ratings on both these games by having both of them available at exactly the same time. This is just dumb. It is not going to help their product.
Telling you,
it's not
Rob
the
Manfred-
same as a Sunday afternoon game. It's dumb.
Rob Manfred had something to do with this. I'm telling you.
You're
Him
probably
and Goodell met somewhere in uptown Manhattan and had a martini or seven, and they came up with this. I'm telling you.
I'm not arguing. I think you're right. Bob Schwerski's on this text line. Hey, Monday greetings there, my friends. Go Giants. Wait, what? I thought you were a Bears
hell?
fan. How are you?
Yeah.
Does this help the cause of the Bears? Seriously, Bob, do you want the Bears to even sniff the playoffs, or are you trying to tell us that you've changed teams from the Bears to the Giants, or
he hasn't
is it
changed
just
teams.
your
Come on.
hatred for the Packers?
Oh,
I
my
think that's
God.
it. It's his
I think
hatred
it's-
for the
yeah.
Packers.
Yeah. I
Just
think
pure,
you're right.
unadulterated hate for the Packers. Hey, by the way, back to Grand Canyon University, we've got tickets. In fact, for Saturday, now, of course, this whole tournament thing starts at noon, but the Grand Canyon in Portland, they play at 7, but you could go to any game. The tickets we have are good for when it says all 4 games. I forgot to ask Radio Ron. Does that mean you could show up at the first one and then just don't move for the entire day and just watch all the different basketball games? Or does it mean you have the tickets to go to one of these games?
That's a great question.
Is he in the building?
I did not see him earlier.
You're going to have to take a look around at the break. Just take a quick look because this question deserves answering. I don't know, and I don't know that he knows, but I know that you don't know, and the only way you're going to know is if you ask somebody who does know, and maybe he knows, so you'll have to ask the one who knows.
So that I can also know,
and then we all know.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and then I'll tell you, and then you know.
The more you know, Randy. Anyway, so we'll find that out. But at the very least, you can see Washington State play Santa Clara. You can see NCSB play Loyola Marymount. You can see St. Mary's play UNLV, or Portland taking on Grand Canyon University. And we got tickets for that. We got tickets for the women and the men's Hall of Fame games on December 20th as well. In that one, you could go see Fresno State play Arizona State, or Gonzaga play some chalupas from south of the border. For the men, you could watch Alabama play some other meth-addicted chalupas from south of the border, or Northwest could play Arizona State. So we have tickets to every one of these games if you want it. Not going to do it right now. I just want people to know we have them.
Man, I tell you what.
Yeah.
Those meth-addicted U of A guys.
People say they're number one. I say they're just nothing but number two.
I mean, they're.
Don't say it, Randy. Don't say it, Randy. Don't say the G word. Don't. So, all right, fine. We'll give away a pair of tickets. You know what we'll do? We'll give a pair of tickets to whatever they choose. It can be for the Jerry Colangelo Classic on Saturday, December 16th, where they could see Grand Canyon. It could be for on Wednesday, the 20th, where they see Gonzaga and UChalupa, or Fresno and ASU. Or it could be for the men's stuff on the 20th, Northwest versus Arizona State, or Alabama versus Chalupa. Anyway, I'll let them choose. So we have one pair of tickets right now. Caller 3-888-368-1580. Keon, did you follow everything I just said so you can help these guys?
Pretty closely, but I suppose I will not be talking to Ron this break.
Oh, why is that?
Well, because you just did you not just say to
answer the damn phone? Yeah,
he's got to answer.
So I got to answer the phone. I cannot both answer the phone and go find Ron. Is what I'm attempting to say.
Oh, geez, Keon. Phil could. Anyway,
he was omnipresent. That's wow.
That's right.
Wow. That's a little scary, honestly, as a thought.
Like this latest edition of Doctor Who, he split himself into two and he got stuff done. He got stuff done, is all I'm saying.
I just feel like it's a little unfair that he didn't teach me how to do that before he left.
That wasn't up to him to do. All right, listen, right now, caller 3-888-368-1580. You can get a pair of tickets to your choice of the Jerry Colangelo Classic or Hall of Fame. And Keon will take care of you. 888-368-1580. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Rich Eisen here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. Don't miss any of the primetime action this season with Kevin Harlan and Hall of Famer quarterback Kurt Warner on site calling the game. And I'll be on hand from the studio for the pregame and to wrap up the weekend's action. Join us on air and on the free live stream, sponsored by AutoZone for Monday Night Football.
Right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Screeching brakes? Safer stops? Start with Duralast. New Duralast brake pads and rotors provide longer life and more stopping power when replaced together. Duralast brake pads have reduced noise and corrosion resistance with a limited lifetime warranty. Duralast rotors are designed for quiet, safe stops and meet or exceed the performance of the original rotors on your vehicle. Find Duralast only at America's #1 brake destination, AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at gawon'twait.com. That's gawon'twait.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-216-9922. That's 1-800-216-9922. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-216-9922. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Greg Clark Automotive Specialist, located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles for 44 years. And we're offering our fall inspection on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Also, our brake service inspection, recommended every year to prevent repairs and ensure top performance. For guaranteed family touch service, contact us at 602-246-2881. Highly rated by Google. Online at GregClarkAutomotive.com. Mention the Fanatic to get 10% off.
We all know driving hammered gets you nailed, but did you also know driving high is a DUI? I'm Officer Badalucco with the Gilbert Police Department. Anything that impairs your driving makes you dangerous on the road. If you feel different, you drive different, and driving high is illegal. Be smart with marijuana use. Get the facts at drivinghighaz.com and spread the word with #HighDUI. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet. Be sure to check out You Better You Bet for all the insight on how to beat the spreads and everything you need to cash those tickets. Weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So here is the rundown for this week as far as all the play-by-play that we're going to put in your ear hole. Thursday, we got Chargers and Raiders. Saturday, bunch of NFL football for you. Vikings at Bengals, Steelers at Colts. Money Radio 1510 and 105.3 FM has Broncos and Lions because the Fanatic has Portland at GCU at the Jerry Colangelo thing at 7:15 p.m. on Saturday. So Sunday, we got Buccaneers and Packers in the morning, Ravens and Jaguars at night. And then for Monday Night Football next week, it's Eagles at Seahawks. But tonight, Titans and Dolphins is what you're going to hear on this radio station. Why? Because we love you too much to subject you to Packers and Giants. All right, so now we're going to find out who else we love. Who got the tickets there, Keon?
Yeah, it was he chose the tickets to the Arizona what was the game? The Wednesday the 20th game versus Alabama.
Okay.
And it was Bucking Job.
There you go. Oh, we haven't heard from them Bucking Job in a while.
In a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So there we go. I've marked it here. So well, I don't know. You're in an email about how to handle this. I think you just give old Radio Ron the email address. I think that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, I took down all the information I could because I didn't know exactly.
All right. Well,
information.
Did he not give you? Did he not give you all the email information? You know, phone number, social security.
Well, he shouldn't give me that.
Address,
don't ever give your social security or your address.
Middle name.
We do not need any of that.
All your spouse and dependents.
Secrets.
No, didn't get all of that. Just
you drive a Ford.
Oh yeah, I got to ask them what they drive.
Yeah, kind of stuff.
By the way, there's no parking passes with this, but hey, Bucking Job, congratulations. Sorry you have bad taste in teams, but That's fine. If you realize you're wrong, you can go to one of the other games. The tickets are good for both games. So there you go. And that you might be able to just watch both games. As soon as we know how that works, we'll let you know. Fifth letter says, "This is bullcrap. Why didn't you pick up my phone call, Keon?"
You didn't
He's
call
angry.
third.
He's very angry.
If you called after the third caller, I am not picking up the phone. I don't know what to tell you on that.
No, he says it's
and if you were
bullcrap.
first or second, then I did pick up the phone, and you didn't win.
Fifth letter is inconsolable right now.
I'm sorry, man. Sorry.
It's funny. I got a text from both Navy Brad and Donnie that says exactly the same thing. Navy Brad says, "Good afternoon. I'm asking for a friend. Could we not talk about that crap game between the Vikings and the Raiders, please? After seeing that, I might be blind now," says Navy Brad. Donnie says, "Please skip today's recap of the Raiders-Vikings game. I was puking my guts out Sunday morning. I had a brutal hangover from my holiday party, and it still wasn't as bad as me watching the entire 60 minutes of whatever the hell that was."
You mean the 3-0 win by the Vikings?
Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that, Donnie. You might want to find a different show for a while because we're definitely going to talk about that one.
3 points to no points?
Just the saddest, most pathetic display
Against
of
the
football.
Raiders?
My wife was like, "Did they do 0-0 ties?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, honey, they do. It's done. Actually happened more than you know." She says, "You go 0-0, then you go to overtime, and it's still 0-0? I was like, when two teams are this bad, yes, it can. So yeah, sorry. Chosen One says, "Good afternoon and happy Monday, gentlemen. Thank you again for the tickets to ASU next week. I'm guessing you spoke about the game, but I haven't been able to listen since last week. Terrible game for ASU until the very end when they came back and won it. Thanks again." Well, we focus on the fact they won. That's more important than anything else if they win it. Fish Tank says, "Is there some kind of theory that with two games added together, they get more viewers?" I guarantee you they won't. They get more viewers, he asks, therefore more sponsorship in the same window. I just can't make sense of it other than my team plays awful in prime time. And since there's two games, it's only kind of prime time. Yeah, you're right, Fish Tank. And no, I think your Dolphins, they're going to get over that. They're going to get over that and just completely destroy these Titans. I'm sorry. This doesn't even look like it's going to be close.
You can't lose to the Titans. Not the Titans. They're awful this year.
Except for, let me show you Exhibit A. Here's the thing. Anything can happen tonight.
Oh, because anything could happen yesterday.
Look at my pick sheet. You see all that red?
Yours looks almost identical.
I only got 6 damn games picked right.
Me too.
7 wrong.
I don't think we got the same 6, but we did, yeah.
That is a printout of where I currently am with my picks. It's not as bad as Pickmageddon earlier in the season, but it's bad. So many upsets.
Sorry,
not
Jeff,
just
go.
upsets because I said they were upsets.
Remember,
upsets.
Remember Friday when we were so confident that the Lions were going to beat the Bears? We didn't even bother to talk about the game.
Nope. Guess that, I didn't even know Justin Fields was back, to be honest. I had no idea.
Sorry, Jeff, go.
Because what difference could it have made?
The Jets beat Houston. Now, we knew the Jets defense was going to give Stroud a little trouble, but we had no idea that was going to happen.
And that Zach Wilson was going to look like a real quarterback for an entire football game?
Who knew?
Yeah.
And then you got, Kansas City and the Bills. Anything can happen in that game. So I'm sure a lot of people probably picked the Bills. A lot of people picked KC. But Dallas beating the Eagles. I'm sorry, that was not on my card.
That was one of my 6.
Oh, good. Yeah. And then Pittsburgh last week started it by beating by the Patriots by beating Pittsburgh. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody. 4 people, I'll remind you, made that pick last Thursday. So
I have
it's been a week of upsets.
Whenever the Thursday night game is an upset, not just when I get it wrong, just when it's an upset, all my other picks are wrong for the rest of the week. Just so many bad picks later. So I was looking at Thursday 7.
Radio Run has 7, so
Wow.
he's actually kind of killing it as far as we
Yeah.
go. But I did look at the results, and there's somebody there with a 12, an 11, and a 10. Choro is hanging in there.
Wow.
Do you flip coins? Is that how you're getting your? Because maybe I should just start flipping
Just
coins.
flipping a coin, why not?
Get
Just
back
want you
up on
guys to
that.
know I got 5.
Hey, good for you, man.
Yeah.
Listen, I only got 6, so
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not going to
that's
look down your 5.
No,
That could
got
have easily
5.
been any of us.
I mean, before tonight, I mean,
At least you guys don't have to feel grumpy about your teams losing because both the Commandos and the Cardinals were on a bye week.
Yeah.
My team, it's not an upset because my team doesn't play at a level where I think it's granted an upset, but
was
they
an upset.
should have
No,
beat
no,
those Bengals.
It should have, and that's why it was an upset. Yeah.
And they're
Well,
like,
they have
hey,
the
you're
same
still
record.
on the wild card. Yay. I'm like, oh, look at what just happened. Dude, we don't deserve to be in the playoffs. We just don't. Fish Tank says, hey, you deduced accurately earlier, my friend. It's anti-cheese hatred. Yeah, go Giants. I have not, nor ever shall I alter my fannery, especially not for those crackheads from New York. I just want them to beat the Packers.
I'm on the same page with you, Bob Schwersky.
Big Georgia says, I just read Bob Nightingale said that old Shohei Ohtani will annually defer a stunning $68 million of his $70 million salary. Deferred payments will start in 10 years. One executive said it lowers the Dodgers CBT to $46 million a year. That was Ohtani's idea. Persons close to him say, because he's smart. He's helping his team. You have a chance to have more money to win, but he also knows that money ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
that
it's
money
still
is
all
going
his.
in his bank account. That's a smart kid right there. Silver Pops says, good afternoon, gentlemen, and happy Monday. Happy Monday to you, Silver Pops. Jeffrey, speaking of sad and pathetic this weekend, how about Patrick Mahomes? If there's anyone in this world who should not complain about a bad call, it's him. How many times have the Chiefs won due to the exact same thing? It was a correct call, but there he is crying about it. Sad and pathetic indeed.
Well, who was he yelling at?
Well, he was yelling at the
referee?
Yeah. He was yelling at the ref. And here's the thing. I just can't bring myself to care. Let me tell you the following things that I don't care about. I don't care that Brittany Mahomes took a shot at an NFL referee with a tweet where he just took a picture of the ref and put MVP after Sunday's loss. I don't care. I don't care that Tony Romo accidentally called Taylor Swift Travis Kelce's wife. Slip of the lip. Who gives a crap? I don't care that Patrick Mahomes was a big sore effing loser complaining about the officials after the game when he got to get with Josh Allen. You could hear him. He was just going on constantly. He didn't even care. It wasn't like a real genuine handshake.
Yeah.
He was still in the middle of just saying the same thing. Effing terrible. I don't care that Andy Reid even got it wrong, who has since, though, walked it back. Saying it's a little bit embarrassing for the NFL. He says, I usually get a warning before something like that would happen. He's mad they didn't get a warning that Kadarius Toney was a couple of yards offside.
Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
egregiously
Oh, yeah.
offside.
Yeah.
I don't care about anything other than the fact that Carl Sheffer says, no warning is required, especially if they're lined up so far offsides where they're actually blocking our view of the ball. It was blatant. It was obvious, and they had no choice. A little bit, okay, that's okay. A little bit, not so bad. But as much as he was, it was ridiculous.
Yes.
So I don't care about
Yeah.
any of this. All I know is that Patrick Mahomes looks like a whiny little bitch now, doesn't he? And Andy Reid, though, to his credit, he went back and he saw it, and he's like, yeah, I saw that. Okay, yeah, we're going to talk to Tony about that. Well, we'll talk to Kadarius about that. But he still's like, yeah, it would have been nice to get the warning. And maybe he's right.
Yeah,
because it would have been nice to get a warning. But if you see the video,
and
it's too far past
for
the
me,
warning.
It's forget the warning. It is the responsibility of the receiver to check with the official and make sure they're lined up
Yes,
properly.
it is.
The
Yes, it
official
is.
will.
Yeah.
There was one way to guarantee you always get a warning. Turn and look at the official, and they will tell you, "Oh no, I can't see the ball right now. If that thing gets snapped, you're done." And then you back up. So to me, it's
wow.
That's funny. But to me, that's where the real thing comes down to. There was no warning that Andy Reid was owed.
I agree.
As for Patrick Mahomes, I'm not even really that crazy about it. I mean, he felt like there were a number of calls over the course of that game that didn't go their way. So I think that it was just all of them for him.
He gets on the sideline. He throws his helmet. He's all yelling at somebody.
He's a
Nobody
child.
knows who's yelling out. He has a problem with the end of the game. Give me a break, man. How many times have you won? Maybe that's what it is. He's won so many times, towards the end of the game. And now the Bills beat him. And he's Just
And
he has a
I-
hard time with it.
And I think it was just the frustration of this season too. I was
A
actually
little bit of that, I'm sure.
listening to
Maybe.
a podcast about it. When
Yeah.
you look at all of the close games that the Chiefs have been in, that they've lost, by the way, it's been just a play here or a call there that's thrown them off. So, that frustration builds up. He's been professional for most of it. I don't think that this is
Because he's won.
Yeah, because it's always gone his way. Fifth letter says, don't talk about that game. I just got out of the ER this morning for popping 5 blood vessels in my head. Sorry ass Raiders. Hour 2 is next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. There are a lot of great dads out there. Sometimes those dads get divorced. For more than 30 years, we've represented men in divorce, confronting the pitfalls that could devastate your finances or harm your family relationships. While every situation is different, our goal is to get the best outcome for you and your kids. Visit CordellCordell.com to take the first step.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Phoenix area attorneys. Scott Trout, licensed in Missouri, Illinois, and Georgia only. CordellCordell.com.
Paid for by Cordell & Cordell.
Can I open it now? I think you've waited long enough.
Yeah, go for it, kiddo.
I already have this baseball cap.
And not this one.
Look a little closer, sweetheart. It's signed?
Yeah, buddy.
I can't believe it.
Do you still have that card all these years later? Do you have trading cards that's been sitting in a box for decades? Scottsdale Cards is who you want to call first. The Valley's card, comic book, and collectibles expert since 1989. Scottsdale Cards is your source to sell your trading cards and other collectibles, including those comic books you've been doing nothing with. We are always interested in buying your vintage sports cards and comic books, certified autographs, memorabilia, and collectibles. So what collectibles do you have stored away? They could be worth thousands. Call or text 480-419-2990. That's 480-419-2990. Or go to scottsdalecards.com. That's scottsdalecards.com. Or search Scottsdale Cards on your mobile phone today.
There's a reason why conventional healthcare is referred to as practicing medicine. Hi, this is Dr. Hannah Lindsay. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. I regularly see patients with a variety of acute and chronic health conditions, including many autoimmune and rheumatological diseases. We can restore pain-free joint function and balance immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and overall well-being. We emphasize natural and holistic interventions with lifestyle changes and take advantage of the full palette of care options from traditional remedies to modern science. We collaborate with experts in a wide range of health disciplines, including physical therapists and specialist physicians, referring patients as needed to ensure the most effective care possible. So how about a second opinion on your health? You might just end up feeling like yourself again. Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161, or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Greg Clark Automotive Specialist, located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles for 44 years. And we're offering our fall inspection on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Also, our brake service inspection, recommended every year to prevent repairs and ensure top performance. For guaranteed family touch service, contact us at 602-246-2881. Highly rated by Google. Online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention the Fanatic to get 10% off.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And wow, I just realized something. The person that has 12 right in the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em right now, he's got 12. The next guy has 10. Bob Swirsky. It's Bob Swirsky. Yeah,
Hey,
he's got 12.
congratulations.
I'm guessing
There
one
you
of
go.
those was his Bears.
Makes sense because usually he's bad at picks. So this actually
There you
tracks.
go.
Let's
Bob
see.
Swirsky. There
Did
you
he
go.
pick his own Chicago Bears? Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Wow. Good for him.
Good man.
See, the problem with me is I pick the Cardinals every week.
Yeah, they were on a bye this week, so I don't know how you
Yeah, I
managed
know.
that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
listen, if it could still go somebody else's way, possibly. Let's say if Jay Wagner, Jay Barker, or Arizona Badger, if they get both right and Bob gets both wrong, then one of those guys, by way of a tiebreaker, could win. But if all things
What about
stay the same, Bob wins.
The way I'm climbing through the ranks here at Radio Randy. Yeah, just go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and tell everybody about the way I'm just climbing through the
What are you
ranks. there.
talking about?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You're not climbing.
I'm
You're,
just making my way through the ranks there.
you're not
Yeah.
even on the third page.
Oh my
You just-
God! Please, because I'm on the first page. You must have
You're-
missed me.
No.
What?
Back to Bob Swirsky. He says, the opportunity to win something comes rarely for a Bears or a Cubs fan here. So I am reveling in this chance tonight to get my first weekly win. On the patio right now, smoking a big fat stogie.
Oh, nice. Wish I was there with you.
He goes, no,
What
that's
kind
not
of
true.
stogies?
He says, I'm the only fat stooge on this patio here.
What kind of stogie you smoking there? Nice, Bob Swirsky.
Yeah, why not? Why not? The weather is finally nice.
Oh,
I was working in the garage. I was replacing the axles because it's a 4-wheel drive. So there's a long axle on the passenger side and there's short axle on the driver's side.
Dear God.
And let me tell you, you know how it is when you work on cars, Randy.
Yeah.
Everything goes great except for there's one nut. There's one nut that you can't break off, and it was an axle nut. And I broke my braking bar.
Oh.
I had to use something else. I grabbed a torque wrench, and I had to literally jump up and down with all 200 plus pounds of me to get that thing to pop. But now I got to go get.
God.
It wasn't really a braking bar, as it worked like one, but it was more of a serpentine belt thing. And yeah, it was one of my favorite tools. I broke it.
Oh man,
the whole end of it.
Sorry, Jeff. Go.
So I got to buy a new one of those. But anyway, so it was nice. It was nice working in the garage and had the door open. Sun actually hitting my skin, and I didn't melt. It was nice.
Yeah,
it was very nice.
beautiful this weekend. Yeah.
Swirsky says he's working a Cohiba, of course.
Oh my God! Is it a red dot?
His
kind of
Bears won a game, Randy?
What kind
He's
of
floating.
Cohiba? Oh my God! What kind of Cohiba? You know, later this week I can't smoke any cigars, so I'm trying to take it in. Maybe tonight I will coerce Miss Cam to join me for a. I have a new selection of cigars from Oliva.
Nice.
Yeah, got some this weekend.
Mr. Pringle wants to know if I replaced Axel with Vince Neil. That's a 5-minute penalty on Mr. Pringle. Just really bad attempt right there.
Yeah.
So there was something that came up, and I want to sort of discuss it real fast before we get in and we start talking about every single game that happened on Sunday. Yes, even
Do we
the
have to talk about all
Vikings
of them?
Raiders.
Oh,
Yes,
boy.
even all the games. It's all of them. When I say
my
all of them, we're going to talk about all of them.
All right,
Even
okay.
what we haven't done is talked about the Chiefs-Bills game in a substantive way yet. We're only talking about Kadarius Toney being offsides and
Is there
Patrick Mahomes being a whiny little biatch.
Is there anything else to say about that game?
Yeah, there's plenty to say about how the Chiefs are right now, but we'll get to that. Right now, I want to talk about something. I missed this, but I saw a story about it. And it was from last Thursday when the Patriots were playing the Steelers. And Al Michaels and Herpes Street were talking about the future of Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And, you know, Al Michaels, all of a sudden, straight out of his mouth, comes an amazing idea. Listen to this.
How about this? If he goes into television, they put him in the booth with Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady next year on Fox. There's the answer. Okay, I love it. Or he goes on tour with John Bon Jovi. So we have all these possibilities, and nobody knows right now.
All right, so that is an amazing idea if you think about it. Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and some play-by-play guy in the same booth doing games. Now, here's the thing. Bill Belichick, we make fun of him for being monotone. He just doesn't care to talk to the press most of the time. You know, that's why he's always like, But when you see him in a conversation, now, Keon, did you see him on College Game Day? Did you watch that? He was there, and he put a helmet on, and everybody loved Bill Belichick. When he shows up as Fun Bill, he's very gregarious, well-spoken. He gets in, remember that thing they did for John Madden and the thing he did where they were talking about the 100, back then. He can do TV. I have no doubt. And then can you imagine having Tom Brady and Bill Belichick together in a booth, breaking stuff down as it happens?
And they have 20 years of just experience and chemistry and stories. Yeah, that could be fun, man.
And they know more than we will ever even think to know about football. This will be 10 times what Tony Romo was when he started. The problem is Tony Romo, he came in, he knew a lot of what was currently happening, and that sort of faded away. Now he's kind of a clown, if you ask me. He still can kind of break it down what's happening, but it's not the great Magoo that he used to be.
And I also don't think that I think he got the money, and he is not.
He's coasting.
Yeah, like he used to have a lot of attention to detail, not just predicting the plays before they happen, but even after they happened, he was doing a really good job of breaking it down and explaining, this is what the quarterback probably saw, which is why he threw it here. He doesn't even do that as much anymore.
Yeah. So this, though, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, have so much knowledge, and Bill Belichick, even if he never coached or saw another football game again, the minute you're watching, he'd be able to tell you that's what's happening there. That's what's happening here. I'm just saying. And, if you went to work for Fox, you could help Fox cheat. He knows how to do that. He could probably help Fox cheat against CBS in the ratings. I don't know what they do, but he's proficient at cheating. We know that. Big George says, I saw Bill Belichick on the College Game Day, and think you will. God damn it. He says, I was surprised to actually see him smile and reminisce about his dad coaching with Lee Corso 55 years ago at Navy and throwing Lee Corso in the ocean. Bill Belichick was actually delightful. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got it in him.
People have said this for years. His players have said this for years. He's actually fun. You don't get that in the media because he doesn't want to talk to the media.
Yeah.
But when he actually wants to talk to you, Bill Belichick's pretty fun.
Bob Swirsky says he's having a fine Macassar. He says, Randy, it's a fine Macassar. Does that mean anything to you? You sure you typed that right, Bob? Because I can only read it as
Macanudo.
I don't know. This is Macassar. So I'll tell you what, that's ratings gold right there. If they can do that. And I'm sure somebody's talked to Bill Belichick about, a broadcast future. And maybe that's why he showed up on College Game Day. Just a little bit of a, hey, I'm going to need a job soon.
Didn't he win an Emmy? Bill Belichick, I mean.
For that the coach thing he did on 100?
Yeah.
So
he won an Emmy, right? So.
Al Michaels, I think he's pretty smart. I think Al Michaels got something there. I don't think that's going to happen. I still think that they were tanking and he screwed around and won a game, or at least he won a game maybe they don't need to worry about. But whatever the case, I still feel like he's not getting fired. I feel like Bob Kraft, even though there was exchange between Bob Kraft and Pat McAfee, which makes you wonder if he's getting fired, because if some things were alluded to and there were some things not said to unallude to between Pat McAfee and Bob Kraft. But then again, you could read that another way as saying you need a new quarterback. So, I ain't going to read too much into any of this nonsense, but it's some stuff's going on there. But no matter what, Bill Belichick will be fine. And I think you might actually see him on TV. Blissel Hayes says, I'm looking forward to muting the Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Why would you do that? Come on. Why would you mute that? I'm a Colts fan. I hate these bastards at a primeval, I hate them, but I still respect them. And I still think that they would have so much great stuff to say during the broadcast. I mean, now, Keon, you hate a lot of the Cowboys, stuff. Do you mute it whenever you hear the hand clapper on Football Night in America when he talks?
No.
You hate Jason Garrett?
I don't hate Jason Garrett.
You hate Jimmy Johnson?
Well, I got all the respect in the world for Jimmy Johnson.
Right.
Jimmy just straight up wins.
So there's many times that you hate a guy, but later on, if he's somebody who's good at what they do, you respect that.
Right. That's why I mute Aikman. It's got nothing to do with him being a Cowboy. It's just
he just stinks.
Hard to listen to that.
Yeah. Bob Swirsky says no, it's correct. Makassar.
Makassar, yeah. I forgot about that. Just got an update.
Oh wow.
Makassar is a Cohiba cigar.
He describes. He says, I typed it correct there. They are each aged for more than 4 years in Dominican rum barrels. I paired that with a sweet 6 grapes port.
Oh,
Bob Swirsky knows how to do it right.
Yeah.
Swirsky,
say what you will.
Have a cigar and a drink with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Swirsky.
All right, so shall we? Let's get this thing going because now we only have 1 hour and 15 minutes to talk about every single game that happened this weekend.
God.
So here we go. Let's start with this. This is an amazing headline. Buccaneers move into first place with 29-25 win over the Falcons. My first thought was, first place of what? Oh, that's right. It's the NFC South.
Mm-hmm.
Is that dumpster fire called the NFC South?
Yeah.
Holy God. But yeah, I mean, suddenly Ritter looked like he knew what he was doing. There was a couple of guys this weekend who suddenly looked like they knew what they were doing.
The lights just came on.
Where did that come from, Justin Fields? Where did that come from, Desmond Ritter? Where did that come from, Zach Wilson? Where did it come from?
We've seen Justin Fields do it once or twice. We've seen Zach Wilson over his career do it a couple times. I've never seen Desmond Ritter look like that. Never.
Out of nowhere. No reason to believe that this was going to happen. And yet here we are. And he ran one in, had a 2-point conversion pass. He just had some stats. Like, I'm not used to seeing stats on Desmond Ritter, but yet here we are. In the Lions, okay, we're not there yet, but okay, the Buccaneers and the Falcons, 29-25. So it was a hard fought game.
Yeah,
and I don't know, just fine. The Buccaneers, you're in the first place of a sinking ship.
I went back and forth on that. And I took the home team, and I thought Atlanta was going to win this game because they're 6-6. They're at home. They're taking on Tampa Bay, and I thought Atlanta can do it, but no, got fooled. Got fooled again.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay with the win there.
Yeah, I took Atlanta as well, and really, this was close enough to go either way, 29-25.
Yeah.
Wasn't like Mayfield was great. It just
he does just enough to get the team in competition, doesn't he?
If he's got a good team around him, he'll be all right. But this is what the NFC South is. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers moved into first place in the NFC South with a 6-7 record. The Falcons are also 6-7.
You're in first place with 6-7.
The Saints are also 6-7. So tied for first with the tiebreaker at the moment.
Right. Right.
So yeah, Cade Otton, he made a lot of people's fantasy football days. That's for sure. And surprised the hell out of a lot of people. How about that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't have a lot to say about that, except for I don't know how the Buccaneers were able to win. They almost lost it. Well, I mean, this did contribute to their near demise. So they were at the goal line stand, and here comes Bijan Robinson. Right here he comes. I'm ready to run that ball in. And they're like, okay, boys, we need to be ready for Bijan Robinson. We got to get everybody on the line there. All right, Buccaneers, here we go. Defense. And the Buccaneers said, you know what we can do? We don't need 11 guys for this. We don't need 10 guys for this. We're good with 9. Hike. And they well, of course they lost it because Bijan Robinson, you're minus 2 people. He's going to score on you, and he did.
Yeah.
Like you need 7 guys in the box to stop him, and if you have 9 people, you definitely don't have 7 there.
Yeah, it's no surprise that that he ran it right in. And what are you doing? But so the Buccaneers winning that game still stuns to this moment after idiocy like that.
According to the win probability thing that they have on the Yahoo Sports, in that moment when they allowed that to happen, their chance of losing was 80%.
So does Tampa Bay's head coach, I forget his name. He used to be the
Todd
Cardinals.
Bowles.
Todd Bowles. Yeah.
Todd Bowles. So does he go away this year?
Yeah.
Does he go at the end of the year?
I'm thinking so.
I would be surprised if he didn't. I mean, he could argue he doesn't have everything he needs, but no, this team
Yeah,
was
he
better
does.
before he became
Yeah,
coach.
but
Todd
Cousins-
Bowles has all the money he stole pretending to be a head coach. He'll be
But,
fine.
Cousin Bruce
He's
is
around
there.
500. That's
mean,
not stealing like
He's got his head
Whatever.
coach still there. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
you think? Yeah.
Anyway, dumpster fire.
Okay.
That game happened. Hold on, guys. Ralph is texting me. Why are you texting me on my phone? You should be texting me on the text line. He's all right. What? Okay, I'm just gonna read you his text. This is me in my underwear. No, that was about the picture. Here it is. Wow, the Dodgers and the CAA have found an interesting loophole of the CBT by deferring 680 of $700 million 10-year contract until the contract is over, lowering his AAV from 70 million to 46 million for tax purposes, so they can put better players around him. That's how bad Ohtani wants to win. Basically, a 10-year, $20 million contract with 680 deferred. That is nuts. The Dodgers are too slick. Only a $2 million a year hit against the cap.
Well, if Ohtani wanted to win, he should have gone somewhere else.
That's
Atlanta.
true. He wants to almost win.
Toronto.
Ralph, that's what he's showing you by joining the Dodgers like
Houston.
this.
But
can you
Baltimore.
imagine? You're living on $2 million a year. It's like, well, I guess I'll rent for a while. And then at the end, you've won the lottery of $680 million. Now, here's the question, Ralph. Will they pay him the entire thing in one lump sum, or is this Bobby Bonilla Day all over again?
Yeah, it'll be.
I want to know how this thing ends.
Ohtani Day. Yeah.
Oh, the Ohtani Day. Yeah, that's a way to keep your name in the papers for a while. We would have never even thought about Bobby Bonilla again if it weren't for that contract. Kathy Lefty says, not even the mafia can cook books like that. Yeah, you got a table of Goombas going, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Just giving the slow clap to the Dodgers.
Why can't you do that? Why can't you do that? And all of a sudden somebody's getting brained at the table.
Yeah, there's some poor mafia accountant that's trying to
Candlestick.
slide out of the room.
Yeah. His gray matter is
Candlestick.
already rolling towards the butter and the rolls.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got to take a break. We've talked about a game, so we need to probably pick up the pace. Probably a little bit. When we come back, we'll continue to talk about every NFL game that happened this weekend. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Rich Eisen here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. Don't miss any of the primetime action this season with Kevin Harlan and Hall of Famer quarterback Kurt Warner on site calling the game. And I'll be on hand from the studio for the pregame and to wrap up the weekend's action. Join us on air and on the free live stream, sponsored by AutoZone for Monday Night Football.
Right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Screeching brakes, safer stops, start with Duralast. New Duralast brake pads and rotors provide longer life and more stopping power when replaced together. Duralast brake pads have reduced noise and corrosion resistance with a limited lifetime warranty. Duralast rotors are designed for quiet, safe stops and meet or exceed the performance of the original rotors on your vehicle. Find Duralast only at America's #1 brake destination, AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
At Granger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at gawon'twait.com. That's gawon'twait.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
So, hey, Keon. Oh, it's the Daily Blender here on 1580 Fanatic. Keon, I just heard that North Carolina redshirt sophomore quarterback Drake May says, hey, I'm going for the NFL draft. Is that guy going to go very high in the draft?
Drake May?
Yeah, yeah.
He is the second best quarterback in this draft, according to those who scout.
8 years old.
He's got a baby face. Yeah.
Look at that face. He looks like he just got busted for taking a cookie out of a jar. That's it, right there.
We've been so hung up on Caleb Williams, but I've mentioned his name like a million times because he's the
we
guy.
Don't
he's
listen
the,
to you. Come on.
He's the consensus. Yeah, I've noticed. He's the consensus number 2 quarterback in this draft. Yeah.
All right, so he might end up a Patriot for all we know.
I actually, when the Patriots were playing that horrific game wherein, Bailey Zappi was getting baptized in fire, I did tweet that he should stay in school.
It's a good time to just skip a draft. Well, he didn't listen.
Look, he's got the right mentality. You're supposed to want to go out there and do what you can to turn around a team.
Do you want to hear the funniest thing you're going to hear today? Are you ready to laugh? Does anybody have to pee? Because if you have to pee, you might want to go now.
No, I'm
you good? Bladder's intact?
Right. Bladder is intact.
All right. Hamilton Porter says, breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. The Lakers are raising a banner for winning the in-season tournament. Oh, my God. Oh, see, as a Colts fan, I want to tell you, you don't want to do that. You just don't.
We're not even sure it's going to stay.
Did the Lakers win the
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And you know what? We had to tell you that because nobody cares. Hamilton Porter said, yeah, I didn't make it up. They're seriously celebrating this like it's a championship or something. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, you should be so humiliated,
yeah,
Ralph.
I was rooting for the Pacers because they have the lowest payroll in the NBA. So I was like, if anybody
Poor
could
guys.
use the $500,000,
Lakers should have given that game to them just so they can get paid. Yeah, you greedy bastards.
Well, no, because the Lakers wanted to hang a banner for a thing that doesn't matter.
How embarrassing.
so that's how we got here.
Hefty Lefty says the NBA is mandating the banner to try and hype the tournament.
Oh, so somebody had to. Well,
you can't mandate that. You can't. You just can't
yeah,
mandate
because like, what
that.
if the Bus family was like, no? Are you going to fine them? Are you going to take away a draft pick for not hanging a banner for a tournament the league made up this year?
If they mandated, if I own the Suns, let's say that I buy the Suns from Ishbia, and I'm like, all right, what do we do? We accidentally won the in-season tournament. Okay, and we're mandated to hang a banner. I would hang it so high up there. I would just tape it to the ceiling where it's stuck to it. So you have to really be looking. And then I would make sure there were some speakers in front of it. I would never go along with something this bad. Poke Your Mom says, as a Laker fan, I think that's stupid. You're a good fan. You're a good Laker fan, Poke Your Mom.
Yeah, because I mean, everybody knows what this is. Though I did see some Laker fans on the Twitters, which I understand Twitter is not the best representation of your fan base, but still, they were talking about, the moment that the Lakers were going to win the in-season tournament, everybody was going to discredit it And I had to drop in there and explain that nobody thought that this thing had merit from the beginning.
Yeah, we
nobody
were discrediting it before
Well, yeah,
they won.
This had nothing to do with the Lakers.
In fact, we said they're the only ones who will care about winning this, so they'll probably win it.
And here we are.
What were you going to say, Randy?
I was going to say Kevin Durant said he didn't think much about this in-season tournament until the last game. And then it was like a playoff game.
Yeah, because you want to beat the Lakers.
And also the knockout round is it feels a whole lot more like the quote unquote playoffs.
So after this thing is done, Keon, what do you think? You're an NBA fan. What do you think about this?
Honestly, I mean, there were parts of it that were cool, like the fact that I have not seen this level of intensity and effort from guys, in November, December. That was pretty cool, watching how intense those games got and that some of the players really cared. The problem that I really have with it, and the part that sucks the most, is to get to the knockout rounds, you have to go through group play. And none of the groups made any sense. The league just kind of took, it wasn't divisions that you already knew or were familiar with. So you'd be watching the game and you'd go, who's in my group again? How many points are we behind? Like, it was just hard to keep track of, and it was weird. And I don't know.
Sort of like a soccer playoff, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like how the World Cup does it. But with the World Cup, that's the only thing going on. You don't have a regular season also happening at the same time.
So, Jeffrey, what do you think about this in-season tournament now that it's done?
I think it's dumb and kind of pointless, but I understand. You can say, I don't care about this. But then when somebody else starts playing hard, you're like, wait, now I got to play hard. So it's not surprising that the play did intensify. I just think it's pointless, though. I don't think it's needed. I wish they wouldn't do it. And I agree with Killer Rabbit. He says, does the banner look like a diaper? Because that tournament was a piece of. Yeah, you're right. Not just a piece of, a runny piece of.
Oh, boy.
Walter Mellon says, is this the accolade that makes LeBron the GOAT over Jordan?
Oh, I did see some fans saying that. And I was like, you just stop it.
Jordan has no in-season tournament wins. He says, you know what? LeBron will never be the GOAT. Ever.
Yeah.
Tiger Paws says, so what would Ralph's comment be now about hanging an inconsequential banner? Oh, he'll be all for it. You know how he is.
Yeah. I mean.
Oh, in fact, he'll probably get a replica and hang it behind himself in his studio there. Beer Bob says the Lakers are totally celebrating like it's an actual championship. With them doing the champagne celebration on Saturday, also calling it LeBron's 5th championship. What a joke. Although, okay, let's say, do you guys think that the in-season tournament championship plus the COVID championship, can that go together to make one legit championship or no?
Well, I count the COVID one, but this is silly. This shouldn't count as anything. This is just, these are regular season games. The league found a way to make some regular season games interesting. That's what they did. Congratulations.
Some comic was on stage talking about the crap about how the 2020 championship was not a legit thing, and a couple Laker fans jumped on the stage and attacked him. Yeah, they actually came at him, and they didn't put a scratch on him, but they did make the effort to beat him up. It was just the stupidest thing. Halfty Lefty says, I hope they hang it next to the Taylor Swift banner. They have actually a Taylor Swift banner in Staples. It has something to do with her, I don't know, some like concert or I can't remember what it was. What was her banner for there? T-Licious says, hey, at least he has the BS in-season tournament and Ohtani to cheer him up. Oh, yeah, Ralph is flying high right now. He's a happy, happy man.
Well, he did promise that his Seahawks were going to win on Sunday, but we'll get there.
Oh, yeah, that. Stockton Slap says, spoken like fans of a poverty franchise has never won a chip. Well, here's the thing, Stockton Slab. We now have a rich guy who will spend the money. So we are no longer a poverty franchise. You'll find out towards the end of the season, I hope. All right. Bob Schwersky says Michael Jordan. He says Michael Jordan is the one and the only GOAT. Come on, man. Yeah, we know. We know that. We absolutely know that. Can we get back to talking about these games, please? We got to get back to these games.
Yeah.
Game number 2. We're talking about Justin Fields suddenly reappearing. How long has he been healthy enough to play? Was this his first game in a while? Because I thought he was hurt. Like, I thought he was out for a season or something.
No, he wasn't out for the season. Let's see here.
Was he here last week? Or were they on a bye
I-
week or something?
I think the big story in this game was Detroit's lack of defense.
Yeah, he came back for this game.
Oh, okay. So this is his first game back. It wasn't my imagination. And so the defense for the Lions fell apart.
Yeah.
It
according
doesn't
to-
exist.
to Randy. What happened?
It's a bad defense. They simply refuse to play defense. I don't know if you remember last year when the Lions played the Bears. They did beat the Bears, and Justin Fields scored about 40 points. That offense, led by Justin Fields on the ground and in the air, scored about 40 points. I mean, the Lions escaped last season from the Bears. So the fact that the Lions lost, I don't find their defense surprising. I find their inability to score surprising. Like that's where I'm shocked.
I think that Justin Fields is going to be a great running back in this league, or maybe a slot receiver, but I don't think he's going to be a quarterback, and I think the Bears go quarterback in the first round. But the bottom line is, I mean, they just showed every weakness Detroit has. Detroit's going to probably win this division.
Oh yeah, they'll probably win the NFC North.
But the bottom line is they're gonna lose like quickly and right away, and it's going to be because of their defense. Their defense is non-existent.
Yeah, I think, and now correct me if I'm wrong, you kind of need a defense to win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
You do, or you go on a run and you get the right matchups of teams that, can't outscore you. That's the best you've got.
Wait, Blissel Hayes says that Justin Fields has actually been back for 3 games. Well, I just never noticed if that's the truth. I don't know.
I know. I was reading an article last week that was like, yeah, Justin Fields will be back in action with the Lions this Sunday. Like, okay, all right.
I believe you before I listen to Blissel Hayes.
Not going to lie to you. At a certain point, you just got to pick on Sunday. Which teams am I going to focus on? The Bears aren't one.
we're treating the Bears much like we've treated the Lions for a lot of years. We just we know they're out there. We kind of see them out of the corner of our eye.
Yeah.
But we don't pay that close of attention.
Yeah, it's early December. You're last in the division. What are you doing?
Bob Shursky says, "Yeah, Lions have no defense, and they will lose early in the playoffs."
Yeah,
you're absolutely correct. Stockton Slap says, Suns fans saying they don't care about Lakers winning in season championship game is the same as Virgin saying they don't care that someone else banged the girl they liked. Because that's the thing. We really didn't like this girl. We didn't care.
Please.
Yeah. Wait,
we were saying this so early on.
And this is
not sour grapes.
Before the season started, when they were announcing all of this stuff, and we were like, how's this gonna work? We were saying it was stupid. Before anybody even had the chance to win it, we were saying it's stupid.
Laker fan Fifth Letter says, no, LeBron hasn't done bleep for my purple and gold. The COVID ship doesn't count in my book. Win a real one for us, LeBron, or I don't ever want to hear you and Kobe in the same sentence again.
Well, I mean, everybody played in the same circumstances in the COVID chip. So that's just what it is. But like for me, it's worse than that. Lakers fans are telling on themselves right now because nobody cared about this tournament. And the fact that they are now pointing fingers at everybody else to say, you guys are the ones that really cared. No,
nope.
It was just you guys. It was just you the whole time.
Suns could win it 5 times in a row. I still don't care.
It's
There's only
not a
one
championship
that we care about, and that's the one at the end.
You got to beat a team in a 7-game series, then another one, then another one, and then a last one. That's how this works.
Larry O'Brien trophy is what we want.
In-season tournament. Get out of here.
Yeah. Did they even name the in-season tournament?
I'm sure they did. I don't know what it is.
It's LeVar Ball Trophy.
LeVar Ball in-season
Bill
invitation
trophy. Yeah.
By the way, we need let's say if I worked for the NFL, this would be the memo I type. NFL head guy Jeffrey O'Brien. Memo. Drug test. Immediately drug test DJ Moore. Send. Now here's why. He says Bears are as good as any team in the NFC South. We plan to win out. Sorry, did he just say he plans to win out? He needs to be drug tested immediately.
He doesn't need to be drug tested.
Yes, he does. Immediately.
He's a player. He's supposed to want to win every game that he plays.
He's a Bear. He should know better. Drug test him.
You can't have that mentality.
Drug test him for everything.
And everybody with that mentality, they didn't make it to the NFL. that you have to have a level of confidence in yourself and your team that's unrealistic to make it there.
DJ Moore, you were 2-7 in November. You're getting drug tested right now.
There's nothing to drug test. The guy has to believe in his team. What other choice does he have?
The only response to that statement is, "Are you high?" So of course we're drug testing you.
Well, no, it's not. Are you high? If you have a stake in your
Are
team
you high?
winning, then of course you're going to say your team's going to win.
He's high. Moist one says LeBron is better than Kobe. Just don't be starting. Don't be starting. Moist one's just starting crap.
Oh no.
Fish Tank says, can you imagine the Lakers fans if Phoenix had won the in-season tournament? Oh, they'd be telling us how it means nothing and wait till they win a real championship.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
It's always just what narrative benefits me?
Your poverty franchise hasn't won a real championship. That's no, Laker fans know exactly what they're like. Stop projecting, you guys.
Bob Swirsky is actually confident that the Bears will win out. He says, of course the Bears are going to win out. They're going to make sure they F up their draft while missing the playoffs all at the same time.
No,
Bob, I
that's a
need
strong
to come
case.
have a drink and a cigar with you, my friend.
That's a strong case there.
So let's talk now about my game. The Colts just, it looked like that they had a little fight in them because they scored 2 touchdowns within 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But that was the only scores that they made. My team stank, and Jake Browning and the Bengals got beat by a backup. Dear God. I mean, I know I've got a backup, but my backup is supposed to be better than their backup. And we just got trashed. Zach Moss was not used effectively. He only had 28 yards on the entire day. And then their Joe Mixon just went nuts all over us. Our Gardner Damn Minshew, he didn't do nothing. But Browning looked like Joe Mixon. He was 18 for 24 and 275 yards.
See, to me, that talks about your defense, Jeffco.
Which it has been high-scoring games for the Colts. Even
We're
the ones
missing a
that
couple
they've
guys from injury in the defense.
Yeah.
And who needs Shaq Leonard, right? Who needs him? What the hell, man?
I don't know.
This is a game that we should have won. And I am just at a loss of why they played so bad.
And I picked them, Jeffco. I picked the blue horseshoes.
I picked
them
them too.
I did.
Shockingly, so did I. So, I mean...
I think Jake Browning is at so far as from what I can tell, he is he has reached the Andy Dalton territory of
just good enough to win a couple.
Good enough to win a couple, and he knows where to throw the football, which is you just find Jamar Chase, and it really doesn't matter. Oh, is he triple covered? Yeah, let's just throw it up there and see if he can get it anyway. That is what Jake Browning is doing, and it's smart to do that. It just is.
The Colts need more than just Michael Pittman. They need more help, but they also need to trust Zach Moss a little more, call more running plays. He only ran on 13 carries, so he never had a chance to get into a rhythm, and you didn't give him that.
They needed a defense, too, to stop Cincinnati.
And you can't even...
Jake Browning? Really?
And you can't even say that that they were behind, and that's the reason why they didn't give the ball to Moss, because they tied it up at halftime. So you're going into the second half with a clean slate, basically. You might as well just make it 0-0. Start feeding Zach Moss, and they just never did it.
Yeah. And where were the concussion spotters for Gardner Minshew? He got his bell rang. He kind of stumbled back to the huddle like he was coming home late at night drunk, and trying to get his key in the door. And they didn't even do nothing. They never checked him. So way to go. Way to go, spotters. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll pick it back up. We got a lot more games to talk about before the start of Monday Night Football. We've got Titans and Dolphins and the other game. Oh, hell no. We're not airing that. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Oh, not this song again.
Hello, Sarah. Real quick, if you had to choose, would you listen to elevator music all day or deal with payroll compliance?
Oh, payroll compliance for sure.
Wait, really?
Staying compliant is so much easier with Gusto. Gusto automatically calculates my taxes and files with all the right agencies for me.
That actually sounds great.
Hold up. Can Gusto help my small business with compliance too?
Of course they can.
Choose payroll compliance without the ups and downs. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Frankie drives end-to-end, scoops it up and in with 2 seconds left.
Frankie Collins end-to-end. Join the action this season and catch USC, UCLA, Washington, and Arizona when they come to Desert Financial Arena in the final year of the Pac-12 Conference.
Collins over to Lance for three. Bullseye!
Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Sun Devil men's basketball, onward to victory.
Hey guys, Chris Brockman here. Prize Picks. It's the most fun I've had, winning up to 25 times my money this football season. And now I can play during basketball season too. I can take combo projections across both sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less their projection, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. And Prize Picks is the only DFS platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game if one of your players goes down. Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/primetime and use the code PRIMETIME. That's code PRIMETIME at prizepicks.com/primetime for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Greg Clark Automotive Specialist, located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles for 44 years. And we're offering our fall inspection on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Also, our brake service inspection, recommended every year to prevent repairs and ensure top performance. For guaranteed family touch service, contact us at 602-246-2881. Highly rated by Google. Online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention the Fanatic to get 10% off.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. To get caught up on some of the texts I missed earlier, Bucking Job says, really appreciate the tickets. My son, he's 7, and I go to every game we win tickets for. It's always a great experience. Y'all are a part of my daily commute. Well, hey, man, it's good to hear from you. We know that as you're driving, smart people are careful and just listening in and not texting in. We don't want anybody to get hurt out there. Some people say, well, I only text at the stoplights and stuff. I always worry about that too. So just be extra careful, because anytime you take your attention away from the road is a dangerous moment. So be careful out there. 888-368-1580. Average Joe says 34-43. I don't know what that is. Is that your waist, your chest? I don't know what is your measurements. No idea. Killer Rabbit says, my mighty Broncos were poopy beginning of the year. Now we might be winning the AFC West. And Jordan is way better than LeBron. Well, we'll get to your game in a minute there, Killer Rabbit. Let's see. Moist One says, I'm not even trying to start anything. Tell me how Kobe was better. Might have been more likable, but saying he's better, just something a silly goose would say. We're not arguing that today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we can argue the Kobe versus LeBron versus Jordan thing. Whistling Gerbil says, wait, my text line is messing up and giving me the wrong text. It's gone crazy. It's gone crazy. All right. Well, while I try to recover the text line, it's showing me text from the wrong people. Oh, there we go. Whistling Gerbil says, could be worse. Could have went to the Raiders game. Like me. Oh, you were actually at that game. Wow. That's like Ralph watching Ralph in high school. Never scored. No scores. No, just nothing.
Perhaps the worst game in NFL history this weekend.
Big George says, you know what makes me happy? Oh, there's jokes there, but I'll go ahead and pass. He says that the Cardinals didn't lose this last weekend. Cardinals won the bye week. No arrests, no DUIs. We finally won the bye week, Randy. Nice job. Stockton Slap says the in-season tournament right now is like that ugly gal with low self-esteem. Sure, she's not attractive right now, and everyone claims they don't want her, but the Virgins, Phoenix Suns, they're desperate for any type of action, and they secretly want a piece of that. But give her a couple of years, she'll get more attractive, more popular, and will be completely out of your league.
Nobody cares about this tournament because it is it's confusing. How you get to the knockout rounds is you have more points within your group. But what you're doing is basically playing a number of regular season basketball games on very ugly courts in very ugly uniforms. And then you get to the knockout round if you're good enough. And then you've got a one-off game, which is not, to me, a good indicator of who the best basketball team is who is winning in knockout rounds. That's why we have 7-game series in the playoffs. This will never be as important as a championship. It's barely more important than just the other regular season games you're playing right now.
And Stockton Slap, as long as she has the same personality you seem to have, nobody's going to want to F her. 888-368-1580. Nondescript says, let's just give it to these LeBron fans. He's the GOAT. Getting old and traveling. Oh, yeah, he does travel quite a bit. He does.
Yeah, I mean, but I can't blame LeBron for that just because I get disgusted sometimes. I watch basketball and it's like, no, we just don't call carrying anymore.
Well, they don't call offsides on offense, and yet here we are. So
we don't call traveling either.
If you give credibility to that line, then you have to give credibility to Andy Reid saying, "Oh, well, they should have warned me." So I ain't going to do either. So,
though I will say about the offsides thing, they called it 2 times last year. They called it once the year before. They've called it 12 times now this year.
Yeah, they're trying to rein that in.
Yeah, so I think they are trying to make that better. So they've been consistent this season, at least, with it.
Not consistent, the Cleveland Browns. Not consistent, the Jaguars. They played each other this weekend. Jaguars are 8-4. Cleveland is 7-5. Of course, the Browns, because of injury, and I think this game, for the Jaguars, still lingering injury to Trevor Lawrence, but the Browns are now 8-5. They beat the Jaguars 31-27.
Joe damn Flacco.
I know. Where did that come from? I was just stunned. It was a double take. It was absolutely a double take. I was like, Joe, he did what? What?
Yeah.
He's doing what? Really?
That is
Joe
not
Flacco.
That shocking to me because Joe has games. He does have a game every now and then where you're like, oh, that's right. This guy actually has won a Super Bowl.
So don't expect this every week. Don't go running to the fantasy football wire for Joe Flacco.
Just go ahead and leave that alone because next week he'll score like 8 points.
Well, it was only 31-27, but the bottom line is Joe Flacco came in, led the Cleveland offense to be able to score 31 points. The defense did what the defense does. And, Stacey Lawrence, God bless her. She came out there. She played with a sprained ankle, but just couldn't get the job done.
Now, keep in mind that Joe Flacco tried to give it away. He did have an interception. He did have a fumble. So he did play like Joe Flacco. He just kind of went his way. The Jaguars, I believe, should have won this game. And if you had Trevor Lawrence in better shape, they probably would have eked it out.
Yeah.
But now the Browns are now 8-5. So, I don't know what the situation is with. Isn't the molester, the massage molester, out for the year?
He is done for the year. Yeah.
So no matter what happens, we don't get to see him.
We don't get to see him.
You know, one thing, Joe Flacco's going to start next week.
So, yeah. But I will say this about Trevor Lawrence, the leg that he pushes off of to throw the ball, that's his right leg. That's the ankle that's hurt. So he had 3 interceptions and he lost a couple of them where he put the ball and you could see him try to drive and push it. And it didn't even quite have
played his backup.
They should have, but when your starter says, look, I'm going out there, I can go. A lot of coaches are like, yeah, well, go ahead.
Mhm.
See what you can do.
Well, then they should have pulled him when they had the chance to
Yeah.
win because they did
You would
have
think,
chances to win
right?
here.
Yeah.
Anyway, Pickle D just went proclaimers on us. He's like, I would walk 500 miles if I could walk 500 more. Signed, LeBron James. That's pretty good.
Also said that's pretty funny. The CJ Beathard is the backup, so maybe that's why you don't.
Oh, beat hard.
Maybe you don't go there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I take back everything I said. Miles Garrett was upset. He's like, oh, the officiating in this game was a travesty. It was honestly awful. Hey, Miles, you won the game. Don't care. So he's going to get a fine. But yeah, he was upset about the play call. I think this is a theme through a lot of games. Now, some of it whiny biatches. Looking at you, Patrick Mahomes. But then there's other where we have seen it, and it's obvious. The bad officiating is running rampant throughout the leagues. It's getting worse and worse as we go in Major League Baseball and NBA. And now, and of course, always in the NFL. But he went off, and I'm sure he's going to get fined for that. But he won the game and was still mad about the officiating. That tells you how bad the officiating is these days.
He gets held all the time, and it's not just him. TJ Watt, I noticed, gets held a lot.
Yeah, he does.
Nick Bosa gets held a lot. Like
Yeah.
they should be getting more flags.
Why is
than
that
they
okay?
do. Yeah,
It's not okay.
But they're so
protecting the offense because the NFL wants to see offensive output.
Yeah,
you're right. Yep.
So that's not right. See, here's the thing. What would the game look like if it was actually officiated correctly? There'd be a transition where you have a flag every second. Flag, 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 flag. But then when everybody started playing the position as they're supposed to, without fouls, what would the game look like?
Well, you
know
mean
what I'm
like
saying?
last night? It seems like there was a flag every minute.
No,
or
I know,
30 seconds, every play.
But the reason, and now here's a good example, is when Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes were upset that they called a foul on something that they were, we usually just get a warning on that. Okay, well, what if there was no warnings? What if it was actually as it was supposed to be, and all the teams knew it would be that way, which means they had to change the way they played to play it correct and without committing flaggable errors. You see what I'm saying?
You mean without left tackle starting early?
Yeah. What would the
Yeah.
game look like?
Yeah.
Would it even look the same? Because they say, well, there's holding on every play. Oh, there's this and that. There's this and that. If everybody played it exactly as you were supposed to, without foul, what would this game look like? You see what I'm saying? This is like something you'd think, Jeffrey's stoned. He's been smoking some doobage, because that is a stoner question if I've ever heard one. It doesn't seem like it should be, but it does sound like one, because that's
did
something
you,
we'll never ever get to see.
Did you say doobage?
Yeah, boy. That's a term.
Is that like that's a thing?
Yeah, that's a
Doobage?
thing.
I mean,
Keon, you've heard
I-
doobage before.
I know what
I've
you
never
meant.
heard.
I've never heard it
doobage.
said that way, but it was so close to.
Okay. In high school, I hung out with everybody. I hung out with the nerds. I hung out with the
Yes.
jocks. I hung out with the
Yes, I did.
smokers, and I hung out with the stoners.
Yeah.
And I've heard doobage. I'm not the only person who's ever
doobage.
heard doobage.
Hey,
saying
man,
it's
how
all
about a
doobies.
little doobage?
Yeah. Yeah, but they
Yeah.
didn't sound like a 70s DJ when they did it. Hey, everybody. If the stoners did, and that's how you could pick them out of the crowd. Hey, everybody, I just want to say hi and welcome to my party. You're stoned. I mean, that would make it easy.
Wouldn't it?
I'm just saying, but I'm just saying, just kind of imagine it in your head. John Lennon, imagine it if you want. I'll get Gal Gadot on you right now.
No, please don't.
Imagine that. No, just how would that look? How would the game look? So if Andy Reid is right, if they normally give you a warning, then they should give you a warning. If they warn you at the beginning of the year, guys, be watching out for this, we're going to start calling it, then that's on you. I mean, so if there's all this stuff that's sort of called, sort of not called, it does make it more difficult. But I don't know if this game is even watchable if played to the letter.
So, can I ask, why are you an NFL head coach and you're expecting the referee to give you a warning if your player is offsides?
Because they've always given you warnings
Well,
before.
okay. Besides that,
Yeah, that is the reason.
You understand what I'm saying?
I get you.
Hey, coach, your player's offsides. Really?
Yeah,
We're
I
in
mean,
the NFL.
You get
I understand that.
No. If that had been the way it's always been before, there's an expectation that it continues to be that way now, unless you are told otherwise.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this is the top level of football, the best in the world.
Yeah, and
you're
this is
getting
how
a
it
warning?
is.
And
Oh,
yeah, because it's just
You're right, but it's how it's been.
It's just the way that they're trying to shorten the communication between player and coach, rather than the coach ask the referee, and then the referee tell the player, and then it gets back to the coach. That's a whole play clock.
But I'll tell you what, Andy Reid does know better, and you know why he's been saying what he's been saying. It's because he doesn't want everybody to pile on Kadarius Toney.
Yeah.
He doesn't want the locker room to turn against Kadarius Toney, so he's going to stand up loud and proud. Yeah, he should. He knows he made a mistake, and I think Andy Reid is just trying to have his back and doesn't care what anyone else thinks. More NFL game stuff after this. Daily Blender, 1580, The Fanatic.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-306-8158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-306-8158. That's 800-306-8158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-306-8158. Again, 800-306-8158.
Oh, this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
No, I'm getting a cold.
Honey. Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. The holiday season should remind us that faith and family are the most important things in life. And we hope that you succeed in coming together this holiday season with those you love and in the process creating some generational memories. Holidays have this magical power to magnify small things to ever greater memories over time. What a return on investment. Happy holidays.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Phoenix area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
Frankie drives end-to-end, scoops it up and in with 2 seconds left. Frankie Collins end-to-end. Join the action this season and catch USC, UCLA, Washington, and Arizona when they come to Desert Financial Arena in the final year of the Pac-12 Conference. Collins over to Lance for 3. Bullseye! Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Sun Devil men's basketball. Onward to victory.
Life is full of bright moments, but sometimes those moments can seem too far away. Trained and caring crisis specialists in Arizona can assist you with any situation, big or small. Free and confidential help is only one text away, day or night. Text the word HOPE to 4HOPE. That's HOPE to 44673. These moments matter, and so do you. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour. All right, people, settle down because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and we've frittered away so much time now. We barely have any time to talk about all these damn NFL games from Sunday, but we're going to do our best. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien. That's Randy White. He's Keon Rose, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. All right, Moist One, I'm not even going to delve into why you think that Yoko had the voice of an angel. Delicious, you're probably right that Andy Reid and Mahomes are as likable as Ralph, but we're not there yet. We're going to go ahead and stick to our order from the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em sheet, and right now we're on Saints and Panthers. And the Saints, at least this game made sense. At least this game was as you would have thought it would be, and that Saints defense did very well for me on fantasy football because, well, I had CJ Stroud. So basically, my defense became my quarterback, and it's kept me in this game. Don't know if I'm going to win, but thank God for the Saints defense.
So, how do you feel? How do you feel about Bryce Young? I mean, poor guy.
Yeah, I think he's a bust.
You think he's a bust?
I think he's a bust.
So, Keon, I want to hear what you have to say.
He just lost his coach and everything because you don't think I know what I'm talking about. All right,
that's what I mean. It's not bad. I mean,
I don't think he's a bust. I just don't know that when you draft a guy in 13 games to decide that he's a complete lost cause is
13 for 36 and 137 yards. He fumbled. Yes, he took 4 sacks. He did rush for 40 yards on a couple of carries.
Yeah. But this is my problem when people say stuff like that, though, is it's easy to look at his stats and say why he sucks in a team sport. When I look at the 5 turnstiles that are supposed to be his offensive linemen, and they are turnstiles, they don't stop anybody.
I've heard this before. I've heard this conversation before, and it's what we said about Justin Fields.
But they never fixed that either. That's still bad. So
don't yell at me. I'm agreeing with you.
I'm just like, because I've had this same argument with like 6 people in my life. It's just, if you have a bad offensive line and your best wide receiver is Adam Thielen, you are, as a rookie, don't have success. You just don't. And that doesn't mean that he's great and that secretly, if you gave him Randy Moss, he'd suddenly figure it all out. But it would help, and it would give you a clearer picture as to whether or not he was actually a bust.
Well, the smoke is there. I don't know what the fire is about, but we'll see. I guess you're right. We'll see, because the Panthers will do well in the draft, and if they get some pieces that are needed. This is the same conversation, and I was on Justin Fields' side, so I'll give Bryce Young the benefit of the doubt. But boy, he just smells like a bust, just a little bit. I think I had more faith in Justin Fields than I do that Bryce Young is going to turn out better.
I have more faith in Bryce because I at least know Bryce knows how the game works. We're not like Justin Fields' biggest hangup, as much as his offensive line did not help him, and as much as they didn't give him weapons until this year, was that Justin Fields still needed a very simple offense because he couldn't read the defense. And I just was wondering at what point he was going to figure that out. Bryce already knows how to do that.
Let me ask you both. I'll start with you, Jeffco. If Bryce Young is on the Bears, are they a better team?
Well, I feel like they're the same team. Be honest, because when I look at Bryce Young, there are echoes of Justin Fields. I feel like Justin Fields is better than Bryce Young. Keon thinks I'm stoned. But, I don't. Again, there's a big not sure. Remember the movie Idiocracy? Not sure. That's how I feel about Bryce Young. That's how I feel about Justin Fields. Mr. Pringle says, when Keon yells, that's impressive radio. Yeah, I love to make him yell every now and then because I'm a big Peter Brady fan. So when his voice cracks like that, it just gives me the warm feels.
I don't quite get the Peter Brady
what
reference there, but.
Mr. Wilbur says, Dubage was probably my favorite word back in the day. See?
Okay, so
I hadn't heard of that.
Yeah,
before.
like I said, I don't know.
By the way, our new texter from last week, 7514, says, how big is that dog? He sounds freaking huge. I'm never coming over to seal your Dubage.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Just getting molded.
It's my dog. It's Cecil the Wonder Dog, and he's about 100 pounds.
Dodger Danny says, how many of you are yelling about Shohei Ohtani's new contract structure? Nobody's yelling. We don't care.
No one.
I think it's hilarious. Your dumb team is paying that much money for a designated hitter. But we're not talking about that. We're trying to talk football, and we're running behind. Anyway, so the Saints win. And thank you to the defense for possibly saving my fantasy football game. Here's another one that did you see this one coming? No, nobody saw this coming. I can see CJ Stroud having a bad game against the Jets. I can see that because they got a great defense. Zach Wilson suddenly coming back and throwing for 301 yards and looking like he actually knows what he's doing. What? Did Aaron Rodgers like give him like some of his special pixie dust or something? How did this happen?
Maybe that's that ayahuasca tea. Maybe he gave him that ayahuasca tea, and he was stoned when he went in there, and he just made all the right decisions. I don't know, but the Jets, wow! I mean, that is it's got to be a look into the future of the Jets. They have I mean, their defense was strong.
Keon talked about a fluky game. Who is it you said had a fluky? Flacco has a game like this every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, they're NFL
This is a
pros.
Zach Wilson game every now and then.
They're NFL pros. They are going to have some games where they play well because they're some of the best athletes on the planet. But I don't know that I'm convinced that Zach Wilson has fixed anything at all. I'd love to see more games like this from him, strung together. But yeah, I don't know that the Jets can necessarily afford to give up on Zach Wilson because of their record. They're probably not going to be bad enough to draft a quarterback where they are. And if they do, it's going to take a while to develop that person. There's still going to be some value in having Zach Wilson around. I think I've seen enough. I've watched more games where he's had this same talent that he was able to have a 300-yard game with. He's had more games where he's been bad with Garrett Wilson, who looked like a superstar yesterday because he was finally getting passes thrown his way that he could actually do something with.
Well, now the Jets are 5-8, and Saleh has said they're going to stick with Zach Wilson for the duration. Oh, okay.
They just have Robert Saleh out here saying anything, and I feel so bad for him because he just has to go out there and go, I don't know what we're doing anymore.
Slim Pickens' hat says, when it's time to change, you've got to rearrange. Very wise words, Slim Pickens' hat. Very wise words. By the way, can I just say, CJ Stroud getting the concussion, getting knocked out of the game. That's sad to see for the Texans. Sad to see for him. And, we don't know what's going to happen with the Texans in this upcoming week. But before he got his bell rang for real, by the ground, I don't think it was a bad hit. He didn't take some sort of aggressive helmet-to-helmet blow. It was just he hit the ground and his head hit the ground. That happens sometimes. But earlier, he was going out of bounds there, and he got rid of the ball, actually. And Quinnen Williams just gave him a little push, like he was running like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? It wasn't even – he barely moved, and yet Quinnen Williams got called for roughing the passer. It was one of the weakest things I've ever seen. I know later CJ Stroud got a concussion. I get it. We got to protect the quarterback, but that was ridiculous.
That was bad, and
he grazed him barely.
I think that it
should never been called.
Your theories that the optics just make it look bad. That Quinnen Williams is 300 pounds, and
the defensive coaches tell you make sure he knows you're there. You got to get in his head a little bit, and that's what that was for, and that's what he's been trained to do. And it didn't harm or hurt or even register on CJ Stroud when Quinnen Williams did that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if the refs didn't just see Quinnen Williams being 300 pounds and just panic.
That's just stupid, though.
Just threw a flag. I agree that it's a bad flag. I am not defending it at all.
The Peter Brady reference, when it's time to change, you've got to rearrange. That sounds like some rap lyric from the 90s. I don't know what you're talking. What is that? Okay, I need more information on that. Didn't see it. What happened to Nico Collins? Yeah, what happened to Nico Collins? He got hurt, right? I didn't see the game. I don't know. Hold on here. I had to reach into my recycling bin here. Yeah, I still don't know. It was.
Yeah, I saw him leave, but I didn't quite get what he calf injury is what it is. I didn't see what he left for because at the sports bar you don't have the volume up on the on the TVs. Yeah, calf injury. Nico Collins.
Big George says, did Keon just say that Zach Wilson is one of the best athletes on the planet? That's a
is.
stretch right there, Inspector Gadget.
No, he's not. His player comp when he was coming out, and this is not my player comparison, this was a number of scouts, was Aaron Rodgers. Zach Wilson's a great athlete. He's not a great quarterback because there's some stuff that's got to happen between your ears for you to be good at that job. But physically, Zach Wilson is incredibly fast. He's got a strong arm, and he creates so much torque when he throws the ball. He just throws the ball 55 yards downfield like it's nothing.
He throws it through people.
He
threw it through a guy.
Yeah. I mean, his footwork is bad, so some of his throws are not accurate, and I just don't think that he has the best football IQ. But he's a great athlete. What are we talking about?
When it's time to change, you've got to rearrange. That's lyrics from the song "Time to Change" by the Brady Bunch.
Wow, that's a hip lyric right there. I forgot about that. Silly Wabbit says, "Boy, Randy sure knows a lot about getting stoned."
Excuse me?
Probably by identifying them. It's not hard. Navy Brad says the Vikings to release Josh Dobbs. Is that an actual news thing, or is that just what you're hoping for?
Come on.
Rough Rob wants to know if the Lakers are having a parade for their championship.
Probably.
Wouldn't be shocked.
Swuzman says it's the Peter Brady hits puberty episode where he's singing and his voice cracks.
Time to change, got to rearrange.
That's a hip lyric, though. That's a good stuff. That's good writing. All right, let's talk about a shock. Another one, the Ravens in overtime. That win over the Rams. It was looking like that the Ravens were going to have a really bad day. Yeah. And they were able to pull it out at the end with a 76-yard punt return touchdown. That I was watching it when it happened. I'm like, whoa, that was amazing. You ever change the channel at just the right moment? Well, that was the moment I actually tuned in to see how things were going for him. And I was glad I did. That was a hell of a punt return. But Odell Beckham Jr., he actually had himself a day trying to earn some of his money that they paid him. Lamar Jackson, he looks solid, 24 of 43 for 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, and all right, 1 interception. Now I go back to 24 and 43. That's not that great, but he did, rush for 70 yards for 11 carries. So when the passing game wasn't working, he made it work. And so there you go. Matthew Stafford did pretty good too. It was a fairly evenly balanced game.
It was a balanced game, and I will say this for Lamar: if he threw the ball to anybody not named Odell Beckham Jr. or Zay Flowers, 50-50 on whether they caught the damn thing.
Yeah.
So that's not helping the stat line.
So what Keon is saying is the incompletions were not on him necessarily.
Yeah, he did have some bad throws in there, but I would think mostly he had some really good throws. And this has been kind of the story of their season where guys just got to catch the ball. Zay Flowers did, though, and so did OBJ, so that helped a lot.
47 points for the fantasy football line, though.
Yeah.
Damn.
Helped me a lot.
So, of course, Sean McVay is saying, that this fairly critical, timeout we gave up was because our headsets weren't working. I was trying to get a play into Matthew Stafford, and his stuff just went bad in the headsets. He says it's my fault. Everybody was blaming themselves. McVay said it was his fault. Stafford's like, nah, it's probably me. I just wasn't listening hard enough or whatever. But whether it was a malfunction or not, that's part of the game. That can happen to anybody. But it is something I would be saying, hey, not going to complain too loudly, but can you fix this, please?
Yeah.
Can you fix it? Because that's a bad way to lose a game. Speaking of a bad way to lose a game, how about them Vikings and Raiders? Oh my God.
Oh, man.
I had that in a four screen, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, did I pause that? Did I accidentally pause that? How is it 0-0? I sit there and my wife, I was like, holy God, the Vikings and the Raiders. I can't believe it. No score in the first quarter. Well, it happens. Then later, Vikings and Raiders, 0-0 in the second quarter.
Oh, man.
What the hell's that all about? Third quarter. You got to be kidding me. And then my wife was like, I don't want to hear it. Fourth quarter, 0-0? What the actual what?
Yeah.
Man, that was a bad game.
Yeah.
Don't give me a defensive game. That's garbage. It was a garbage game. Oh, my God.
There have been good defensive battles before, but this was just incompetence. This is not.
Oh, I would agree with you.
This is not good defense.
I was disappointed that somebody kicked a field goal. I wanted this to go 0-0 tie. That's how bad this was.
Nobody deserved to win. Nobody deserved to win this football game.
And you know who lost? We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Well.
If you had to watch that. Sorry, Vikings fans. Sorry, Raider fans. Oh, even the Vikings fans are like, we didn't even want to win after this. No. Whew. Do you really think they're going to dump Josh Dobbs?
No. But I do know that a lot of people are mad at Josh Dobbs because he threw a pass that just about got Justin Jefferson murdered. So
yeah, Justin Jefferson did go to the hospital with chest injury. I don't know his current prognosis is. Have anybody said what that was? I imagine he's maybe got fractured ribs or something. That could be his season right there, and he should hope it is because it don't look good for the rest of the season there. So anyway, Brock Purdy, he had himself a game against the Seahawks, 368 yards, and beat them Rainy City Bitch Pigeons 28-16. Not much more to say about that. It's just never looked like the 49ers weren't going to win. That was it was damn tight. Speaking of tight end George Kittle, he got that last score, 44-yard touchdown right there early in the fourth quarter, helping out somebody's fantasy football. But Brock Purdy, my wife had Brock Purdy and Josh Allen, and she's like, "Oh, which one should I play?" And she went with I think she went with Bill. She went with Bill. She went with Josh Allen, and she really regretted it because Brock Purdy had like 14 more points than Josh Allen. I think she's still fine, either way. But Brock Purdy had himself a day right there, and it didn't hurt that Christian McCaffrey did too. 145 yards right there. Anyway, the weapons for the 49ers are ridiculous.
They're just loaded. They're just loaded.
But stop saying that Brock Purdy is just a system quarterback. He's not just a system. He's a damn good player.
This is not the game to probably illustrate that on account of when you get 368 yards on just 19 completions, there was some extra work being put in on your behalf. But there are other games that prove that a whole lot better.
He's a damn good player. That's why I'm saying that now, because I know the next thing out of somebody's mouth is, well, if I had Deebo Samuel and Chris McCaffrey and all that, George Kittle. This is why I'm saying this. He's not a system quarterback. He's a damn good quarterback. And I
makes the right calls.
You will see in the years to come.
Personally, I happen to think that any good quarterback actually is a system quarterback because if you play outside of
somebody
the
who didn't have some good players,
that didn't have an offense that benefited them. If you are a quarterback, unfortunately, that gets drafted by a team that doesn't have an offense that suits you, guess what? You're just kind of stuck and you never become the quarterback you could have been. Brock Purdy fortunately landed in a place where his skill set is basically, let's keep this offense on time, on schedule, deliver the football where it needs to go.
Yep.
And he does it better than half the guys in the league.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Chosen One says, as a Vikings fan, what a terrible game. That said, we went out. We can win the division.
You don't deserve to, and I don't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah, not today.
3 points against the Raiders, please.
Yeah. Shame on you.
Let us forget in a couple of weeks and bring it back up. Don't bring it up today. That's
win out.
That's fresh.
Hey, win out. Get out.
I'm still mad at having to see that.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey guys, Chris Brockman here. Prize Picks. It's the most fun I've had, winning up to 25 times my money this football season. And now I can play during basketball season too. I can take combo projections across both sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less their projection, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. And Prize Picks is the only DFS platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game if one of your players goes down. Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/primetime and use the code PRIMETIME. That's code PRIMETIME at prizepicks.com/primetime for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Hey, Jeffrey O'Brien here. And listen, Phoenix has had over 53 days of 110 degree plus this summer. This last July alone, we had 30 consecutive days of 110 plus. And this summer heat might just be the new normal for summers here in Arizona. What you need to do is call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harmon Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
iPhone 15 Pro on Verizon. It's your last chance to trade in any iPhone in any condition for the new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium and iPad and Apple Watch SE, all on us with Unlimited Ultimate. Go to your local Verizon store now. iPhone requires Unlimited Ultimate plan first. Service plan required for iPad and Apple Watch. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line required first. Less $1,000 trade-in/promo credit. Up to $459.99 device payment purchase with new line on eligible plan required per Apple Watch or iPad. Less up to $459.99 promo credit per device applied. 0% APR. Additional terms and conditions apply.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, Jeffrey O'Brien here. And listen, Phoenix has had over 53 days of 110 degree plus this summer. This last July alone, we had 30 consecutive days of 110 plus. And this summer heat might just be the new normal for summers here in Arizona. What you need to do is call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harmon Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and we're wrapping up all the games. I think we're actually going to make it. Tiger Paws says, yeah, that was pretty much the commentary on Purdy yesterday from a lot of broadcasters, that we all need to stop saying he's a system quarterback and say he's a good quarterback. And other quarterbacks have also had a lot of talent around them too. And I didn't know that. I just figured it. I think I've been saying that for a couple of weeks. He's a good athlete. He's a good quarterback.
What would Kyler Murray do with that lineup?
Very little. Suffering A's fan says, we spent like 6 years fearing every time Jimmy Garoppolo would throw a pass more than 5 yards as a 49er fan. Now we look forward to Purdy throwing it down the field. System or not, that counts for something. Yeah, Purdy does drop some dimes.
And I don't know if anybody's noticed how much I like Brock Purdy and how much I never liked Jimmy Garoppolo. But every Niner fan was trying to fight me for the dignity of Jimmy Garoppolo. Where is he? What is he doing? What was he doing when he was healthy? Nothing. But Brock Purdy's your dude. Like that is somebody who is good right now. And even if you think he's just a system quarterback and that he's just, dining out on all the talent that he's got around him, that's the floor.
Yeah, like keep your system together. Then
he's going up from
because you have your franchise quarterback. That's what Brock Purdy is, your franchise quarterback. And if you think he's just system, keep your system together. I'm talking to 49er fans. Everyone else, you're going to hate no matter what.
I think 49er fans already know that Brock Purdy's their guy. Meanwhile, Jimmy Garoppolo continues to get hurt and is non-effective.
Fish Tank says, all right, fellas, I've cleaned up the bar garage here. I'm getting ready to watch the Dolphins. Message to the Dolphins. Please don't embarrass me. Please don't embarrass me. With the upsets this entire weekend, I would not be too confident, but I think you're going to be okay. I think you're going to
I'm not even going to say anything because I don't want to jinx anything.
So we already talked about the Bills beating the Chiefs. So since we are short on time, give me the Reader's Digest version on what the hell is wrong with the Chiefs. Forget about the whiny bitchy thing at the end, but forget about that. Why are the Chiefs having so much trouble? Something is wrong. Something is off. And it's not Travis Kelce. The last game I said, yeah, something's up with Travis Kelce. I think he was just cold because he did just fine. In fact, won them the game, if not for Kadarius Toney. So what is really going on with the Kansas City Chiefs? I can't quite put my finger on it, but they are just off. And is it a different offensive coordinator? Is there no grown up in the building? I don't know what's happening right now.
I'll say this before Keon takes over. Too many mistakes.
I agree with that. And maybe it is, maybe it is a Nagy thing as offensive coordinator, because one of the things that got harped on when Bieniemy left was the attention to detail. Eric Bieniemy is a big stickler for the little things. And Patrick Mahomes was even saying at one point, that when he was, especially when he was a rookie, Bieniemy would be drilling him about something, and then he'd be going, "Is that really that important?" And then it would pop up in a game later. I don't know what it is with Nagy. I'm not going to accuse him of maybe not running as tight a ship, but it does seem like the mistakes are more, and they've increased since he's been the offensive coordinator.
Well, hopefully Andy Reid can sort and figure that out. It won't be before the end of the season, but hopefully before it's too late for these Chiefs, because, this is a championship team. This is talent that should be doing better than it is doing right now. There's no way the Chiefs should be sitting at 8-5 right now, not with the talent they have. And people make mistakes, but this is just sloppy.
It's sloppy, and these mistakes are leading to drives that don't last. Even though they only lost by 3 points, the Bills had the ball about 10 minutes more in that game in time of possession. So those mistakes lead to drives that don't go anywhere and don't end in points.
They need a better defense, and they need a grown-up running the offense. That's what they need. And right now they just don't have it. So I'm sorry, Chiefs fans, you're not going all the way. Sorry. Moving on to another game, which was kind of a pleasant surprise for my son, who's a Broncos fan, 24-7 over the Chargers. And now the Broncos are suddenly 7-6. And it is very interesting. First off, the Chargers, well, we know that they were just a hot mess. And now Herbert's hurt, and we don't know if he's even going to be ready for Thursday Night Football. Broncos just firing all cylinders and killing it, but the Chargers don't really have that great a defense, right?
No, it's bad.
Yeah,
it's
so
bad.
This doesn't tell you anything. You didn't learn anything here, but it's always a surprise to see Broncos 24-7. Wow.
This is why everybody wants their coach fired. The people on that defense are talented people, so you assume it has to be the scheme is why they can't do anything. They haven't been able to stop anybody this season.
Plenty of fire their coach texts have come throughout the
fire Brandon Staley. We'll hear it.
Yeah, and then the other one was the Cowboys, not just beating the Eagles, but beating them like a drum.
Yeah,
33-13.
I still don't believe in the Cowboys. I think when we get into the playoffs, it's a different story. We'll see.
It's a less mobile Jalen Hurts, and that's not good news for Philly.
I don't know when we do start to take the Cowboys serious. Right now, it's hard for me to, just out of habit.
Yep.
But they did pretty damn good.
It's a real defense.
That's just
they've dropped the ball a couple of times, but I believe in that defense. That I do.
Expect Dak Prescott to blow it, though.
But he hasn't this whole season.
It's coming. It is the way of the Dak. I'm just saying. All right, guys, coming up next, our version of Monday Night Football, Titans and Dolphins. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hi, it's Tony D. Join me and Ron Culver